go.
Okay.
Yep.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good morning. Today's Tuesday, August 13th, 2024. Board minutes for August 6th.
I move to accept the minute.
Next second.
Any public comment? Seems none. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, correspondence. We have a letter from Willow Rock Inc. And per request from Great West Engineering to satisfy FERC requirements. We did the monitoring survey on Georgetown Lake Dam on 7/30/2024. We found a maximum horizontal movement of 0.0703 feet at P2 and a maximum vertical movement of minus 0.0363 feet at P9. And he's emailed his data to the engineer for their review.
That's that stuff we had to get done, so it don't need to be on the agenda.
Right.
That way they
Yeah.
can send it back and we can review it, and if something comes up, then if we have to, we can.
Okay, so the next one is from DEQ. And it's the FY 2025 County Motor Vehicle Graveyard Grant for the Granite County Junk Vehicle Graveyard. And the budget has been approved by the DEQ. That's the grant money we get from DEQ. That isn't anything we have to make a motion on.
No,
Or put on the agenda.
no, because we'll go through it during the
Yeah.
budget.
We'll go with the budget process. The next one is from Road Groom Manufacturing. And enclosed is information about the Road Groom solution for maintaining unpaved surfaces. So is this just an add
Sales pitch,
a piece of equipment?
yeah, sales pitch, just somebody sends it in, just tell me.
And that's it for correspondence. We still have 5 minutes before we go into public comment. But we can go right into public comment on matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction.
Okay. I think I missed your call. Board decks are sitting there, just put it up. Right side, maybe cleaned out and like. All right.
Where's fires at now? Still?
There's a one in Beaverhead County, 4,000, and there's one up north in Montana. It's a
So
couple
that's
of
why we're getting it from.
Idaho's got a couple things.
There's Idaho and Oregon. Oregon burned more acres this year than a whole bunch of other years combined. I can't remember.
I seen a truck down to Oregon and got down there and they nitpicked it so bad that they sent it back. So they're not putting fire on.
They did one.
They sent my truck back. I sent it 753 miles down there. To go under a guy's old boy, it was broke down. And they nitpicked so bad, I mean, a headlight blew up and then going down the bobtail and one of the air belt thing just popped off. All you had to do was put 5 seconds, put it back on, and they sent the truck on. They don't want to put it out. There, an outfit out of California is running it.
Yeah.
You can't take care of California, why are they in Oregon? Come on.
So is that at your expense?
Mhm. No,
So coming back, was it your expense?
it's going down and back, cause they didn't accept it. He said there was. There was, I mean, I fixed everything in like 30 minutes, just the little stuff. A wire needed some tape around, electric tape around. And they turned that truck back.
Who drove it down there?
That guy that works for me, so I had to pay him. Shitty deal.
All the way in Oregon then?
753 miles from Drummond.
Round
Right
trip
down
or?
there, oh, one way.
Ew.
13 and a half going down and 15 hours coming back. Down past being down in there or something. Elk Rock, I don't, some little town.
Oh, my goodness.
Pretty sad. Didn't make it that far and then they wouldn't, and the Skidgens never even left the staging area, it's sitting, I mean, it's still sitting there. You get paid. But why couldn't you back underneath it?
Yeah.
It's a bad deal. Well, just like you said last year, Chuck, you know, and then like when Arizona guys come in, and take over stuff, they're not the ones that have to live here, they're the people in Oregon. And that's just like, who gives them the right to dictate, take over and do whatever?
Yeah.
There they go.
That's why we should amend our fire plan. To have, they have to go through the commission. They have to come in and get a fire in our county. They should have to come in here and say, okay, we're gonna let 10,000 acres burn. And we have the right to say, no, you're not.
No, it'll be done. They've got so much now authority that it's sad. If it's anything, they blackball you, you know,
Mm.
'cause I called the guy and said, "Ooh, you know, that big argument."
Well, that's why I should go through the commission. We should have a say in our county, what's gonna happen. I mean, we're the ones that hunt there, we recreate there, breathe the air. Whatever.
No, I agree with you. It's out of hand, control.
Okay, we've got about 6 minutes left on. Public comment on matters within the commissioner's jurisdiction.
Just a heck of it, we ought to have Paul check this thing out. And for $14,000, you can pull behind a pickup. And it does like 40 miles of road a day. Gravel road.
Good morning.
I'm going to give you this. I still don't have proof of insurance.
That's okay.
So you're saying.
That's everything.
Yesterday.
Well, yeah, we can do that much, but it has to be wet.
No,
We'll
If
have
we
to
do it this
finish,
kind of
Yeah.
weather.
I don't think that's gonna be an issue.
but- Okay, if it is, as soon as I get it from her, I'll send it to you.
Okay, thanks.
You ever seen one of these things? I don't know. What thing. Like in the spring, for like in the spring when the roads are wet.
No. I haven't had one on any of the meetings.
Yeah.
I know. We have the same thing, which is on a grader.
Well, you read that thing that the commissioner wrote. He said it won't replace a grader, but.
Yeah.
If the roads are wet. They can do a lot of roads.
Well, we just got a new grader, so you don't need that. No.
They don't throw it away. Always a new gadget in there. But you heard mine.
how they transport it, it looks like we got one wheel.
Right,
I think we're close enough to our next agenda. Item. There doesn't seem to be any public comment to go ahead with the weekly report. With road and bridge superintendent Paul. Good morning.
good one. So we're still out of Willow Creek. We'll be there. If everything goes good, we'll be out of there tomorrow. But it's just slow, it takes about an hour, and 45 minutes to turn. You know, it's just taking time, it is what it is. But at least when we're done, we'll be done until. You know, fall such up. But then from there, I think we're gonna go to Echo Lake Road. Because travelers, they're still not done with that above the cattle guard, so. Defeats our purpose to go to travelers to the cattle guard, and then you gotta go right back. When they're done with fiber optics. So we'll do that, hoping they'll be done with that by the time we get done with Echo Lake.
Did you go up there and blade the worst part of travelers or? Is it
Not yet.
still? Is there any way you could touch it up?
We'll touch up the bottom to the hill. We'll go up to the top of the hill there. We'll do that on our way by. But. Yeah, we won't haul any gravel or anything in there until they're completely done. But now we'll give it a touch up to the. Cause they're gonna tear the rest of it all back off, so.
You ever talked to Blackfoot about doing the ditches again?
Yeah,
If
that's what
they're,
we're doing,
You know, we're still waiting. I mean, last year they dug all that stuff up
right.
and they still haven't finished it.
No, they're supposed to do them when they get there, as soon as they get it all laid, they're supposed to have crews go around and start pulling the ditches.
This
Is that
year,
Yeah,
Blackfoot,
this year,
is that Blackfoot?
yes.
They're having trouble getting subcontractors, it sounds like, no one wants to work. That's what they're saying.
Is that why it's taking so long? It's supposed to be here in the spring. They go out and do the ranch at Rock Creek first, when it should be the town.
Good point, they, money talks,
Yeah.
the courthouse will be last.
Just saying.
No, but they have the money to pay people, and it's saying they can't get subcontractors. I don't know.
That's what Jason's saying.
Did they ever send us some pictures and stuff?
They're supposed to be, yeah,
I have a whole pile of them. I have a bunch from Northwestern Energy. I think I got some from Blackfoot last week. Let me.
they're supposed to be.
I'm pretty sure I did. Where did it?
Okay, so we'll just follow this agenda thing, potential truck replacement. That. We're gonna be working on budgets. But in that situation. Would you take that old truck and just put it out for sale,
I traded in,
trade it in?
I just think it's better, we can get a better trade in than putting it out for sale, and, cause then they
Okay.
just, I just assume, I mean, I think we should just.
If you get a trade in, I didn't even.
I think we
What year is it?
19.
we'll get something better out of it as a trade in. Gets dues back, that,
did you talk to anybody?
I did, talked to Ford and Dodge, and they're gonna be. Around 53,000. And. You know, that less whatever you get for a trade in. Just what they are.
otherwise we can put 10 into it and then try to, just.
Yeah, half ton or 3/4.
Half done.
Yeah, 3/4 ton, probably 60, huh?
Yeah, but the thing is that you just drive so much, then you're burning a lot more fuel on a 3/4 ton and. Like, and then
Stay with that.
So, yeah, you want, because you do so much driving, you want to look at something that's gonna get a little bit better gas mileage and,
yeah. And a half ton's all I need.
yeah. I mean, you don't take it
Well, he's not
where
hauling.
a half ton would have to go.
He's not hauling of welders and stuff or the other.
So is your old still running?
Don't dare drive it.
Now, how would you get it in for a trade?
No, I mean, you drive it for that, but you just can't, the oil cooler's out of it, so. If it goes the rest of the way, the oil's gonna get in the crankcase and then it's gonna seize the engine up. So if we're gonna get rid of it, we either need to do something, fix it or get rid of it, because. It's. Crippled.
I think we need to just decide right now that it go into the budget instead of. So you're driving your own vehicle,
I've got one of the old
or one of the
county
other.
ones right now, but I drive my own mostly.
Cause they've been using them, but no, I make a motion to go ahead and get rid of it, and clean everything out of it. And take it back down there and trade it in, either whatever, you can get the best deal on Dodge or Ford, it don't matter to me which one, but. And just whatever, otherwise we're gonna have 20,000 or better in it. If you had to get them.
Yeah.
So what are we
About
looking at
40.
adding, 52, 53? To your budget?
Yeah.
Okay,
Then we had 100. On that budget, I was just talking to Sarah, we had 100 put. In there, for contract hauling that we put in last year,
I know, but,
but we didn't, no, so we just struck that off of there, so.
okay, so here's the thing. One thing you need to understand about budgets, it goes away. And we start.
No, I understand that.
Okay, so it does, nothing carries over.
What I was gonna say is. We just struck that off there completely as a whole line item because. We decided we're not gonna hire any trucks for this fiscal year, so why even have it on there as an item, is what I was gonna say. So. Kind of what,
But yeah, I'm just not gonna just drop it off, she just put 0
right,
in the amount. Because you never know,
Well, you still have to have something on that line item just in case something does happen, you don't want to erase the whole thing.
yeah, we'll look at
I
that,
get you guys,
we'll look at
You
that.
know, otherwise you have a blank line, then you gotta go in and redo everything and. You gotta leave something in there, whether it's 5,000, 10,000 or whatever. Otherwise it's.
So is there a second on the truck?
Yeah, that's for a basic truck, not.
Yeah, basic,
Not a bunch of.
not a bunch of stuff, you can't have a bunch of stuff on it. I want it stripped
not a
down.
spare tire.
No tailgate, no, nothing.
It's with no doors, right?
No radio,
Yeah.
no air conditioning, no.
I was thinking mine was more than that.
Well, I think, and then where you got it back home, now we can strip everything off of. You put a lot of that back on this truck and. Then put a brush cover on. Go from there.
Anyway,
So-
I second it.
Is there any public comment on that motion? All in favor? Aye.
This is people really focused.
Yeah,
Because people will be here and they're gonna be asking that, because they don't know what you get.
I know for sure it's gonna be in that range.
But I mean, the rate, so yeah.
Placement on the radar signs on George Township Road.
I went up there this morning and double checked, know what it is. It's almost 0.6 of a mile coming from either direction to the crosswalk from where the signs are. And they're solid houses from them posts all the way in. I think we should put them there.
Okay. Is there a motion?
I'll make a motion that we go ahead with your recommendation, put them over, we put the sign, we put the cross, the speed thing, we'll go from there.
I second it.
Is there any public comment?
So
Go ahead.
well, I heard from Chuck Stokey and he said all the folks up there are for it and are acceptable to have it where you guys propose, that's where they want it, so, yeah.
I don't see any public comment. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carried and passed. Okay, snow plowing on Algonquin.
So I went and looked at it. And if we were gonna plow that section road, we're gonna have to fix the road first. And he is more than happy to plow himself and capable of doing it. So I'm not gonna say that maybe next year there's gonna be a lot more houses up there, maybe next year we're gonna have to do some work on that road, but I think for this year where he's the only guy. Let's let him plow himself,
So he would have to do the permit thing.
yeah,
Okay,
and he said he's got no problem with that, whatever you need.
And you get that to them in the day, or?
Yeah,
They
you
were
work
the
it,
one over
when I
there.
get it to him, yeah.
Well, I'd, have that little agreement, I just have that on your agenda and you guys can sign it next week.
Well, I think
Or do
it's
you wanna-
got the discussion you said.
You wanna approve, yeah, you wanna
Can
approve
we-
that, this 1 year agreement?
Yeah, yeah, cause then if it changes next year, then we'll have to go back in, and if we have to redo the road or whatever, so. I just do a 1 year agreement like we've done with some other guys,
Okay.
and now we're, then we can review every year.
So we put that on the agenda for next week.
You got it on today, you can do it today, I do the motion today. if you
I
want.
do it right
Oh,
now.
snow plowing, okay. Okay,
I do it, make a motion, I would go ahead and give the, I don't know his name.
That's why I can't, sir.
Permit for this year of snow plowing.
one second.
is there any public comment? We have Vlad there. Are you making a comment on the snow plowing on Algonquin Road?
Well, unfortunately, I couldn't get my hand up quick enough. You guys have already passed your motion, so on the radar sign, I just wanted to go on the record on that half a mile. I think it's too far.
Okay. We got you. Thank you, Vlad.
Thank you.
Okay, motion carried and passed. All in favor? Aye, for the Algonquin permit to plow his own road.
That'll be okay, me, but I'm wrong as a sign.
Okay, yep,
Yeah, it's just a simple one.
yeah.
Yeah, I got a call from Lewis, about the Little Gold Road, the culvert. He said he's talked to you, I remember we talked about it last year. And he says it's just basically impassable now.
Yeah, it's pretty tough shape, but remember last year, when we were talking about that, and then Cameron says that's his part. Up where that culvert is, that is actually turned into Forest Service before that. So he was gonna talk to Cameron about that.
Yeah, he said he talked to Cameron and they said they had no money.
Well, then why would we? I mean, they can't kick there again. They're the Forest Service kicking it back on the county. What was their road? They can fix their own.
Well, can we check that out and see for sure whose road that is?
Yeah.
Cause he's saying it's county road and then it was proved to be county road. And you're saying it's not. I always thought it was Forest Service, but I don't
So
know.
the
Last
Forest
year,
Service has done some research there, I'll look at that, what they found, I mean, those, Little Gold is not a petition road, but the county's done some maintenance in there and it's on the old maps, my understanding, but the extent, how the length of it, I do not know. So, I'll look into that,
I think that high up. The way I understand it is Forest Service. But
yeah, okay, we'll double,
Well, let's find out
Oh,
for
yeah.
sure. And if it's county road, I think we should try to replace culvert.
Yeah.
What size culvert is it?
maybe 24 inch, if it's that big, it's, yeah. See, the Forest Service is up there. Chuck Reynolds was up there about 3 years ago, doing work for the Forest Service, he worked for the Forest Service.
Hmm.
And he overhauled that. So why would they do that if it wasn't Forest Service road?
Yeah,
I mean, I understand fixed power. If we do that, then they're gonna come back, well, we'll do this.
right, it's not our road, that's not
You
fixed.
know,
there's so,
Let's find out for sure.
historically, that's been your thinking though, is that the Forest Service land, and, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we'll research to make sure whether it's county or Forest Service. All right,
Yeah.
we
great.
can come back next week with.
But make it 2 weeks. In case you can't get it figured out. We'll meet Cameron, see what. The fact is, when Cameron comes in today, wouldn't hurt to ask him his thought on that too.
What's the name of it? Well, I guess you let it roll.
I got the insurance.
Well, you rest.
That's all.
One quick, what's the name of the person with the snow plowing, Clay?
Kinser, Kinser. I'll text you his contact too.
I think I have the agreement basically done, I can bring it down, they could sign it right now. I
Okay,
can tell you, no, okay.
It's gonna save us a week and that.
Yeah.
I get it right now.
Okay.
It's off the
Yeah.
agenda. Yeah. And that guy, yeah, we'll get stuff.
yeah, he's good to go, we just. Way the mornings feel, it could be snow anytime.
Dumps doing good.
Yeah, they were having some trouble with that. The new refrigerators, they got some. E600A. Freon stuff in there. It's flammable. We got a different. Recovery unit for it, but it covers everything right up to that. So I gotta get a different one, just a little bit, it'll handle that different gas. I'll talk to them.
What are we talking about?
At the dump, when you're recovering the freon out of them refrigerators,
Oh, yeah.
the one we got was like $1,200, but it just won't quite reach that type of gas, so.
Hmm.
We'll take it back and have those guys order what we need. I mean, we have to have the right stuff. And it's funny because Drummond doesn't get those. Just Beaver dump. Every refrigerator comes in the Drummond, an old one, and the ones that come in here, they're later model and. Just this highfalutin society.
Or you think P-Berg's highfalutin, do you?
Apparently a lot more remodels, I don't know. But
So you have to upgrade. Is that what you're saying?
other than that, everything's going pretty good. Had a bout of. Breaking hydraulic hoses and that type of stuff, we've been going through some of that, but. And we got a hydraulic cylinder coming for the Drummond dumps, swing on that backhoe. Cylinder split. It's just stuff. That's. There's always something. I guess if you're using it and oil's running through it, something's gonna happen eventually.
Okay. Anything else?
That's all.
This for that. Whatever we get for the pickup, I'll just get the best deal we can get, and I'll just do that.
Yeah,
So, yeah.
strip down.
No doors, no seat belts.
Snows, nothing.
Half windshield.
Sitting on a bucket.
Keeps you alert that way.
Do they make those anymore? Without a bunch of doodads?
I don't think you could.
Then you'd have to like special order one and cost.
Oh, my
price,
goodness.
You know, if they don't have, I just go with.
Sure.
Well, that's the price, what it's gonna be in that range, so.
Yeah,
You can damn well get into 80,000.
Mm,
Some of them. are Pretty pricey.
hey, I guess our next agenda item. Is. Dan Kender's report. The water is at, level is at. 6428.67. 9.96 inches below full pool. Discussion,
They at 30,
okay, 30,
We got Todd Blights, did you read that? Report from Todd Blight,
got me to stamp this one.
yeah, please.
yeah, he just said we're gonna have to go way down after 15th of October.
And that's what we usually do anyway, we start trying to gather back. The way the wind's been blowing up there, we don't even want it, just going in there. Jump at 30, it's,
Did you want to say anything about what happened last
No.
night?
No.
Doesn't have.
Nothing.
I have some comments people wrote in about the lake level, if you want to hear those. Lee Tenendahl and Bob Murdo both sent in emails up to Blaine's office that he forwarded me, where they're concerned about the lake being able to fill next year or before it freezes. And they would like you guys to potentially consider not releasing the full 30 CFS through the end of irrigation season if the irrigators were agreeable.
we don't have no choice but to give them the 30, I mean,
Yeah.
it's just, yeah.
No. I mean, they're worried now about the lake filling.
They're more worried about, they forget about the other people. And it's just not all about us there.
So when does the irrigation season stop?
October 15th.
October?
And sometimes them guys come in and say that we're good on water too, they've done that years before, so you know, just kind of play it and do what we usually do, is keep everybody happy.
You want to take that staple out? That one, you got it stapled. Okay, well, it's just saying that when you can't separate it. When you wanna look at the. Okay, see. That doesn't matter. Okay, pull it out. Okay, so, motion carried. There's been a second and any public comment? None, so all in favor, aye.
Aye.
Motion carried and passed. Water at 30. As required. A few minutes before our next agenda item.
I'm just gonna say on our county map here. It shows that road goes Forest Service,
That it's
I thought that's what
but
it
it's
was,
Forest Service.
I thought it was when we talked to him before when he was here.
Then
You
we
see
go,
it right there, Jeff?
yeah. But that's a stroke of a pen, so,
Yeah,
Yeah,
well,
I mean, let's check it out for sure.
yeah,
Just get it over with.
and all you have to do is talk with Linda, she's probably. I mean, the stroke of that pen is still pretty accurate because
Yeah.
the research was done on it too.
I mean, that's what we go by.
Yeah,
So,
Now I'll just get with Linda.
yeah, and Linda is gonna be able to. Pin it right down to the
yeah, no, it's just
50 inches, no.
pretty close.
Yeah. That. Will be confirmed by next week. Okay,
And then on that other road, you know, they're complaining about Rock Creek Road, that mile marker 21 or whatever. Up there where they're graveling and they said it was county road, that little piece and whatever, they gravelled it in
Which road is it?
Rock Creek, where they're graveling between lower and upper Rock Creek
Oh, okay.
on that. Yeah, they gravelled it anyway. So
who's they,
the contractors, no, the contractor graveled the whole piece. But remember they called and they said, well, they jumped over and they didn't blade it and
Yeah,
why don't we contract them to do it? Well, they did it anyway.
Hmm.
So, but they still have all their stuff. Next to door, all the rocks and the private signs and all that stuff, which is our 66-foot right away. That Linda looked up and that's is what we have.
Maybe we should send them a letter to get it off of there before something does happen.
Probably should. I mean, they're right on the edge.
I think we should.
Yeah.
I mean, if you watch somebody now that they gravel, they're gonna go faster, and if that stuff's along there, somebody's gonna be off the road and hitting it.
does that need to be on next week's agenda?
Yeah.
Okay,
Got it.
Well, it should be off of there because all they're doing is making it so people can't park there, like they own the ground, well, they don't own. You know, but
If you're down there, take some pictures, so we have everything, and then
How long a stretch is it?
there's a mile, about,
A mile?
yeah. You know, where it's a county road and they figured that years ago they were gonna move the road apparently, and then they never moved the road. And I don't really know the whole deal, Blaine does. And, so. There's not a whole mile of debris there, but it's just kind of in front of there's certain
Yeah.
people's houses and then they have their stuff by the creek. Then, yeah, takes a minute. No, somebody walking up with him too. Okay.
are they about done up Knoxville with Blackfoot now, or there's a lot more, whoever's up there?
Basically, they've got 90% of the pavement. Toward the north.
We're worried about not cleaning it off, I said, it will be done when they're done.
Yeah. Still gonna be a year and a half. Before we get fiber anyway. Back into where we live. That's what he told me. He's lucky to be sometime next summer
For what?
to get that fiber put in like to our house where we live.
Where you're at, or for the whole county.
Guy just asked him where we live, you know what,
A year and a half from now?
it'd be maybe sometime next summer is what he told me.
I haven't.
So of course you rock people.
Yeah, yeah. See what she did.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
I was the third person hooked up to it, I was told.
Any difference?
I don't know, I don't pay any attention. I mean, I think. Out there, it seems like anytime it would easily get overloaded before and spin if you were streaming stuff, and I haven't noticed that anymore.
supposed to be Zoom,
Supposed to be before you can even think it, it's already on your computer.
yeah,
Yeah,
we're out there. in Zoom land. Okay, we have. A minute before our next agenda item. Can go ahead and go into potential fire restrictions in Granite County, discussion and decision.
I'm gonna move to go back to one stage one.
Well, let's hear from Jackie.
Everybody else is.
Yeah, that's what I heard.
She's not on this morning, there was that,
I think she said that, yeah, a bunch of them are going back. to
Yeah.
I guess it's up to you guys, I don't, I just still worried about just a little bit, and, you know, whatever.
yeah, last week, multiple counties did go back to stage 1 restrictions, I believe it's stage 1 right now in the National Forest.
They're still stage one.
Yeah, and I think that was the information she had.
This is Jackie, I'm on.
Okay, Jack, go ahead, Jackie.
So I'm kind of looking at Powell County is going to stay at stage 2 and revisit next week. Anaconda Deer Lodge is at stage 1. Missoula County, Ravalli are at stage 1. Sanders County, stage 1, but in their wording in their resolution, no campfires.
Thank you.
Sean O'Connor, I visited with him last night. He would like to stay at stage 2 if possible. And that's just his recommendations.
Who is Sean O'Connor?
He's a fire chief, I don't know.
Warden. He's the
He's your fire warden.
It's up to you guys, I'm just thinking, say, what's
Okay.
it's all right.
You made a motion to go to one. I will see our neighboring counties except for Powell. Powell's at staying at 2, Jackie.
Yeah, I think they're staying at stage 2 until the fair is over so that there's no campfires in the fairgrounds, I think is their reasoning.
Okay, I'll second this going to stage 1. Is there any public comment?
Yeah, I'd be willing to say no campfire.
Okay,
You know,
stage 1 and no campfires.
fairly good idea.
Right here, fine, it's not good, it's just.
Okay. So that would have to be a new resolution, stage 1 with no campfires. So when Blaine gets back down, we'll have him
Right.
do the new resolution, stage 1 with no campfires. So. Any public comments? So Blaine, we're gonna go to stage 1 with no campfires.
Have to be a new resolution going for that.
Okay, so stage one generally is campfires in like a designated pit, but you're doing no campfires.
I would still say no.
Okay. Okay,
Because Powell County's doing stage 1 with no campfires.
okay,
No, they're stage 2.
Oh, stage 2, sorry, Jackie.
Somebody else was stage 1, it's okay.
Someone else. is stage 1, no
yeah.
campfire.
Sanders County.
Oh, Sanders County.
good, okay.
So all in favor?
Aye.
There, on that one? Oh, you're on something else.
No, we're on the fire thing.
Oh, okay.
So Blaine, as soon as you get that done, would you email that to Kristen Mortensen so they can get the resolution on the MT info?
Sounds good.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
You dissented?
What's today? 13. 13.
Now I'm mad because I got voted down.
Okay, so we have 2 ayes and 1 nay. Okay,
You might do it two original and we'll have them. Oh, man.
You want that, huh?
All right, sounds good.
All right, thanks.
All right. I'll go work on that.
Thank you. You guys.
well, that didn't take 15 minutes.
On that comment on that, I seen a couple of the contractors, and I guess that's what kind of frustrating me, they laughed, said, we knew we'd get what we want. We want that notice. They figured they'd get what they wanted. That they could get the pole on that fire restriction with the water pumps and all that. You know, and where Blackfoot couldn't even get back with us and give us pictures until we had to have Blaine get a hold of them and get it. They stood right in here and said they
Yeah,
would.
that would, yeah.
You know what? I don't care how big they are and that, it's still our county, and we gotta represent these people and take care of them, they're here and gone. I think it's a thought. That's my opinion. Go.
You guys come forward. Come forward, we have a few minutes.
We have lots of time, looks like.
There she is.
Morning, Cal.
She's hiding back there.
I'm
Good.
hiding in the corner.
Everyone, this is Craig Hansen with DNRC.
Right.
How's it going?
Good.
I'm gonna take Blaine's chair.
Claudette and I have a book for you. For
A
you guys
book,
to go
huh?
for our service. Bring it over. Yeah.
How's it going with you? Busy?
Fairly quiet. We picked up one tire yesterday, northeast of Avon, but other than that, it's been fairly quiet, which has been good.
Ain't busy, Cameron?
Yeah. Not doing fire, so that's good.
Paul talked to you a little bit.
Hmm?
Paul talked to you a little bit about local.
He did. I was under the assumption that was a county road.
No, remember that we talked about that a couple years ago.
No, I don't.
Now we're get a chat before we bring it up, you know.
I did ride my dirt bike up to there a couple weeks ago to look at the spot that he had fixed maybe a year ago. That's like the best part of the road, actually. So, I mean, you can't even hardly get a pickup past that. It really deteriorates. That's like the least of the worries of that road, no matter who owns that road. So,
Yeah.
I don't know what Louis wants, but it's hard to fix a road that just has zero potential
Yeah.
to put money into it.
Is that what he's talking about? So it is Forest Service,
Well, according to this map,
yeah,
When we talked about, remember, and it was like Paul got up and Chuck Reed did it there with the blade and how fixed it up the best he could, and that was a couple of years, 3 years ago, maybe.
well, we did it during the fire.
Yeah, we were talking about the stuff in there, and then I can't remember what, but. I think then we thought it was Forest Service too, not trying to get it up, but they just. Linda will look into it, we'll go from there, and we'll call you to get it.
Either way, like I say, where he worked on that road where it's washed out, like, that's the least of the worries, that entire road system.
Yeah, you get up past it,
Yeah, it's horrible.
and that's the thing, once they get you there, then they're gonna want.
The next one, yeah.
so who was it that wanted to? Was talking with,
And Louis,
oh, Louis Plansky,
Plansky.
Yeah, he's one to come in last year.
Yeah.
Before, it's every year, get a little water running down there, and it's just, it's a terrible place.
mhm.
Ain't much
There's two
fun.
culverts right next to each other right there. They're probably 30 feet apart. And really, they need to be way bigger and set down deeper. It's like the culvert was just set on top of the earth and then they built the road on top of that.
They probably had nothing up to really dig with.
Rocks, yeah.
You have to take a rock hammer. and
Big rocks
smash the shit
everywhere.
out.
So it looks like all he did with the backhoe or something, just like dump it on the downhill side, just to raise it up some more.
And I think they
Talk
monkeyed
about
with it
that.
too.
They what?
Talk about that.
Monkeyed with it too.
So it's their culvert.
it's.
We
there.
think so. Not exactly where it is right here.
Yeah, Paul just looked and showed the green points of this. Linda Jack is next to it well on this one, baby.
I've never even been on this piece of road. I didn't know if that exists. Oh, no, that's the one that goes down the Meadow Lake, that's the. So I think there's, I think. Culvert's actually on this side of that red line, on this road,
Well, I think it's,
it's like way up in here.
yeah,
Like
see, he
little-
was pointing down right in here.
It is though, because after this intersection, you go quite a ways before you get to like the Beatenberg Lake area. Because this is the one that goes down to Meadow and Thompson Lakes. So I think you gotta climb a steep hill right here, and then the culverts are right there.
Okay. We'll have Linda look and make sure and see what that, yeah, that little elbow. Yeah, probably gonna run up and look again too.
Because you should be able to get to Altoona.
You know, you gotta go up.
There's something. Not there was a way you can cut all the way across.
You gotta come all the way back down and come through here.
That's Royal Gold. I swore it came out once like.
I don't. There's no.
Oh, yeah.
You got some back down there,
Yeah,
yeah, then cuts me, I will get it looked at.
Brutal piece of country back in there.
Close enough to 10 o'clock. Our next agenda item. District Ranger Cameron Razor to discuss emergency use of water from Georgetown Lake by firefighting aircraft during wildfire season. Cameron's with us and you are,
Craig Hansen.
DNRC.
go ahead.
So yeah, I invited DNRC to come because they do a lot of the response for their protection too. But I'm not going because you guys invited me, so I don't even know what you want to talk about. So I'm gonna throw it back to you and
Well, I guess, and I'll jump right in, it's. I guess the biggest concern, we need to know where they'd be dipping and that, cause there's stuff, there's gotta be careful if they're getting down this way. With that hydro and stuff, we just gotta make sure we're not disturbing the bunch when they start dipping, and then, I guess it's just the biggest thing is the safety and. I mean, we'd have to have something, know the top before this guy goes in and starts dipping, cause there are people.
Yeah, I guess, my concern is, say we have a small fire, and I think those planes are a good deal, I mean, for small fires, and in this attack, but anyway, how would we keep people off the lake at a short notice? Yeah, I mean, and then one concern I had was, I don't know what the draft is on when they're coming down and dipping water. I mean, how deep do they go? Is there some real shallow spots out there in that lake?
I don't think they go very deep. I mean, that thing can't open very much, otherwise they'd
Mhm.
crash.
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing was the concern is just with them houses around there, it's not so much that, it'd be better to use. I don't know, a helicopter to dip out than having planes swooping down through there, and, cause I know this.
Well, when it's-
2 feet deep.
Yeah, when a deputy called me about closing the lake, they wanted to close off the whole lake and go down and dip the water, and I think there just needs to be a consensus or an agreement that everybody knows that if something happens, I mean, how do you let everybody know around the lake that they shouldn't be out there fishing
Yeah.
or,
That's a problem, because it's the residents.
because you don't have time, I mean, you got a fire going, and it might be an acre or 2 acres or 10 acres, and that plane would do a lot of good.
So Georgetown's definitely, it's a big enough lake for dippers for sure, lengthwise, for them to fill up. It's at elevation too, so they can't get totally full, otherwise they wouldn't be able to take off, so. I can't remember how many gallons those things hold, but it's probably a couple thousand gallons. But they wouldn't be able to get to capacity, so which means they land on the lake in a shorter distance to fill up. So if there's areas you guys are concerned about with your infrastructure or something like that, we could pre-identify
That area.
an area that would be like a no landing zone to keep them away. Of course, they gotta play the wind too, so we can't, we can't just expect them to go right down the middle every time, because if there's a different wind, they might need to come at different angles. But yeah, if there was like little bays or something that we didn't want them in, I mean, they need a big stretch, they need to be more out towards the middle.
So do they land, just totally land?
Oh no, they're going 100 miles an hour. As they fill up, they just skim the
That's
surface
what I
and then they
thought.
just take right back off.
And what about weeds and stuff like that? There's a lot of weeds in
They drop stuff out, I've seen stuff
Yeah,
come
they-
out there, I mean, they get whatever they scoop, and it's,
Yeah.
they don't have strainers or nothing, they actually get whatever they get, but. I'm with you, we just need to kind of try to designate an area, so then we can actually get a hold of someone that are right along there, and with the ones coming from other places to fish, I don't know, have to go fishing game, or somebody go out and tell them you're gonna have to get off the lake, or somebody's gonna have to have. a-
Yeah, so this latest time, of course, that was a fire over on Butte, so I was getting it secondhand by the time it was coming to me, but we got the game wardens were involved. I'm assuming some sheriff deputies from here as well as Anaconda Deer Lodge County was involved, and then we were sending our law enforcement up there. And some of our rec staff to keep new people from launching. I think that response might have been a little much, like when they dip out of Flathead and Halter and some of those places, I don't really know what they do. I think they just run the planes in there and
And I think people just kind of realized, and last year up there in Flathead, they were having that fishing thing going on, all of a sudden you just, everybody just.
got out of the way, right? You get,
The Flathead's a whole lot bigger lake.
Yeah, I know.
but they were dipping in one spot though.
Yeah, they just come off up there by Omo, and that's all we were.
Mhm.
They come
Just
off
quick,
right
drop,
in
yeah.
through it. I just think guy needs to kind of figure out where they can and maybe see and then definitely be in communication before just going in there and taking off.
Yeah, I would say like Jackie, Dunkerson, probably my fire employee, I don't need to be involved with this. Like, and fishing game, because the NRC, of course, they should probably get together and develop a plan of how we're gonna evacuate the lake and keep people off.
Yeah. I
Cause we
mean,
don't even have any boats, like we were searching for boats to go tell people, cause the Forest Service doesn't have boats. Fish and Game, I believe, has, they might have one here, but it's,
If they have it up and they travel around with it.
Yeah.
so much that-
so that was kind of the problem, just get a boat really quick. So yeah, some of that needs to be flushed out cleaner, so when it happens, we can implement a
Well,
plan.
we just don't want a big mess on, they just go in and start paying, when nobody's on the same page, and next thing you know, something, then the county's sitting there like, now what? So.
Another thing, with the weather, the way it is now. I mean, this could be a focal point for filling up for like a 50-mile radius or 100-mile radius. Where else would they get?
I mean,
So you could probably expect some dipping almost every summer, wouldn't you?
I've been on this district for 20 years, I don't remember ever dipping out of there with a scooper, so. I mean, you've been around here a long time. too.
Well, I mean, yeah, but it's not, they haven't used them that much before.
No, and I don't know what the push was in Butte this time.
Shorty's
just-
a lot of over that way, what I've been told, they're just scared, and it was quicker to blast them right through the straight shot and trying to go, somewhere else.
Another problem with that is we're not allowed to take water from one side of the Continental Divide to the other. So that was why Georgetown, it was like the closest, biggest body of water on this side of the Continental Divide because of aquatic invasive species and that kind of stuff.
I asked that one guy about Silver Lake, why wouldn't they hit that?
I don't think Silver's long enough. Yeah,
And you'd have to come raise up,
You'd have to come up
the wind blowing
quick.
this way,
yeah.
from the west all the time, most of the time. When you'd have to go that way and then there's kind of a rise there.
He just said Georgetown.
Yeah, Silver's not a long enough stretch. I can't remember how long they're on the water, but it's a while. I mean, it's several seconds they're on the water before they lift off again. So they need a pretty long approach.
I just think guys get some of that stuff done and get everybody on the same page and write up something so we have it, and then when an emergency happens, it's, the call can just be yes. Not have to come in and sit, wait a couple days or whatever, but if we have the resolution of whatever, just to make it work.
Well, I think those 5 folks should get together and they develop the plan.
Sounds good to me. You good with that?
No motion in.
I just make one that we go ahead with this with the people that are involved, so everybody's on the same page, communicate.
No, it's okay.
There any public comment
Yeah, I always have a comment.
on this agenda item?
Sure, why not?
Okay, go ahead.
Ranchers are paying for that water. They'll barely let any of it out of there for them. What makes you think that the Georgetown Lake Association is gonna make a big fuss over this? Cause it's pretty hard to clear that lake. When they need water, they need it now. It takes them a matter of minutes to get that plane from point A to point B. You can't clear that lake that fast. That's
Yeah, but-
it.
That was my.
It comes out as a safety reason too, when people's houses burning up.
But the ranchers got to fight you guys to get any more water, man.
They're getting what they're supposed to be getting right now, and they're all been really happy with it, Jackie, and
Maybe
Yep.
this year, but in years before, there hasn't been even as much water as we have now because there was no snowpack.
They're still staying at the 30. Every year we stay at that, and this year we had more water, and we did a really good job of taking care of it and keeping it up, and we were sitting way better in like Eastport and what, Little Creek, bunch of them. I mean,
Why not Eastport?
Yeah, Eastport's way down. They're cutting the water off tomorrow.
Yeah, but why can't the Plains Inlet take scoop water out of Eastport?
I don't know, we're not,
No,
but it's not
it's-
Georgetown, I don't know how narrow or
Too,
whatever.
too steep, too narrow.
So,
Well, what about Echo?
Echo's not big enough.
Oh, no.
So water
Wow.
rights, I know that's a sensitive subject, but we've done a fair amount of research. There's Montana state law that says for emergency in times of emergency, for fire response is one of them. There's no water rights needed. There's nothing. We'll take the water for what needs to be done for the emergency.
Oh, and just for clarification, Jackie, you want to state your name?
Oh, Jacqueline Butler,
Okay, thank you.
There's another.
town resident.
Yeah, I see it. Okay, go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. Okay, I remember a few years ago when we had major fires in October, going out to the reservoir and seeing a plane scooping up the water. Was that possibly Anaconda Deer Lodge, which half of the reservoir happens to be in? And are they involved with this decision?
This was in October.
Yeah, I believe it was that really big fire, even over here at Black Pine. It was coming down through forest land. And
That was in August.
we went to the reservoir and I remember seeing a plane scooping up water,
Eastport or Georgetown, I've never seen no down there.
Georgetown Lake. And
Could've
I'm
been.
wondering, since half of it is in Anaconda Deer Lodge, which they do control half of the lake, were they involved with it?
We have the DNRC here.
Does that ring a bell to you at all?
No, that does not ring a bell to me.
I mean, they sure could have. There was, like I said, there was a lot going on that summer. But the counties, I mean, DNRC ultimately controls the water. And with the state law, the way it's written, for emergency purposes, anybody responding to a fire emergency can go take that water for that emergency. So I don't think that Granite County or Anaconda Deer Lodge County has control of that water space.
We main thing here, we're just trying to get everybody on the same page in case something happens. It's not who's what and what.
Right.
It's just we're trying to make it all work together and so everybody's communicating and knows that.
But we definitely need to bring them in. If they have a police department. We definitely want to bring them in because they might help us respond to help keep people out of Denton's or whatever to clear the boat.
Thank you. I assume that's Cameron that's speaking. Yes, I think you should bring them in. And as far as the DNRC, total control, Montana has a constitution and the state is in control, not federal agencies. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena. Any other public comment? Being none, all in favor? Aye. Motion carried and passed.
Yep.
Thank you for your information.
We'll get them all in touch with each other and
You
Get a
can
plan.
kind of get that moving and then we'll get it done in case something happens.
Just cause I knew you were gonna be here, there's a note for you. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Just gonna get some of the entity together, they're gonna work with people and get like 4 or 5 back, you know, bring everybody on the same case to get something up, so you know what's going on, and come down and
Yeah.
can do it like this, not have to wait. No,
Yeah.
that's good, I thought.
I mean, have something to go by, you know, when they called me.
Yeah, it's all.
It's not about me.
All right, stage one, but. Mentions a minute.
No.
I have it automatically being rescinded once. The National Forest rescinds all their fire frequency on that. How's it going?
Oh, it's going okay. Hey, how are you? Good and yourself?
All right, we're good.
Yep. Thank you.
Did you have anything else, Becky?
Yeah, I noticed you're gonna talk about Kura.
Okay. Yeah, we'll be doing that about 10 minutes.
When?
At 10:20 for the consulting services.
Oh, I can hold out that long.
Okay,
I don't have anything else on my agenda today. Can I just ask a question while you're waiting
Sure.
for the consulting service? Does soffit and fascia include the roof?
The what?
It says roof. It says proposal from Dave Kaufman for consulting service on courthouse roof project. Discussion and
the fascia,
huh?
the fascia, did you say?
Yeah, the metal that keeps peeling around this. Is this part
Oh,
of the
around-
stuff you're gonna talk
Yeah.
about?
No, it's just being the rubber stuff that's been put down that's leaking.
Why wouldn't you fix the edge if you're gonna fix the
Cause they're gonna
roof?
go up instead of it water coming down where it's only halfway up on the roof, they're gonna try to extend it up to the top of the roof.
I
But
understand.
then, yeah.
Okay, what she's talking about, sorry, is the round that the,
Yeah,
The metal.
Yeah.
what is it called? It's,
yeah, the patient. The,
is it zinc?
my, no.
And
it's
paint
tan,
won't
it's tan.
stick to it.
Yeah, and I got the remedy for that. Because I've done steel tanks.
Um,
And I've been told that's the best job they've ever had done before. You know what you gotta do? You have to sand it all down, and then you have to use the clear body primer for cars. You know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That stuff will make it, and then you gotta buy special paint for steel, like for air painting airplanes. And you won't have that for, you guys have done that 3 times, not you guys in particular, but over the last 15-20 years, it's been done 3 times, hasn't it?
Something like this peeling off, something like
Well-
that,
It
yeah,
never lasts.
definitely wrong, been wrong.
My understanding though is that it was originally, it wasn't a needed painting. I mean, it was galvanized from the start, wasn't it, without being painted?
Right, it
Why
should
haven't
never have been painted.
Why even paint it? It's my thought, but there is some work that needs done on the fascia. You're right. There's some parts where it's, you know,
We've had people up there and trying to get it off and it's just a money deal now.
You gotta grind it off,
Gotta have this.
it's really labor intensive.
yeah.
But if you do it properly, then you don't have to do it for years. Okay,
Good
what
point.
else is on
Good.
your?
Give us an estimate what it costs. Exactly. Give us an estimate what you think it costs.
I'm not going up there.
All I hear is this, you need to do this and you can do it, so I just asked them, how much would it cost?
Maybe if, you know, the next person that does that, someone suggests that to them, they might take it under consideration.
Yeah.
What is Granite County alcohol tax dollars? Do you get money off of every drink sold in Granite County?
No,
Every bottle?
no.
We get some tax dollars from the state. They can designate to, and they did to Zenith. There's a new, they do like Prime for Life and that type of stuff.
Oh, okay.
But there is a potentially someone else wants to be part of that, but it'd have to be next year because they've already decided for this current.
Sure,
So,
okay. Okay. Well, I guess I'm left to go home and mow down my knapweed because the town of Phillipsburg doesn't contract the county any longer to spray the flipping weeds.
There's other people that do it. Detours, they do it.
The town used to have the county go all around town and spray the knapweed. That's when we had, it was nice. And every time anybody does any digging, you get knapweed.
I bet they got They got a grant for that or something, I wonder if there's any grant, I mean, that.
We'd have to talk to you right down there, Ben.
Maybe you guys could do that for next year, because the town really needs sprayed. And whatever we can buy on the street, they just suck it up and spit it back at it.
Yeah.
Grow bigger, better.
Yeah. Needs some tore on.
Yeah. Yeah.
It needs some of that.
Yeah.
You're correct,
Yeah.
it's bad.
Try to kill some of the pot that's going around there, going, that'd be a bad deal.
I saw two of the nicest pot plants the other day growing on somebody's porch. I spotted them right out on the road. Nobody else can see them. And I tell the guy, cause I'm getting signatures for, you've heard. And I say, I guess I don't have to twist your arm. Are you a registered voter? He said, yes, I am.
Yeah, it's gonna be,
Thanks,
for-
Jackie.
Thank you
Have a good
very
day.
much.
Good suggestion on that. Trim around there, yeah.
Well, really, that's the only way to do it because it's so hard, like Blaine said, it was galvanized. Why paint it in the first place now? Okay, bye, have a great
Okay,
day.
bye. Okay, it is. 10:20. Well, yeah, close enough. Proposal from Dave Kaufman for consulting services on courthouse roof project, discussion and decision.
so I talked to him, we tried to get him to come down, and he's like, you know, I think you guys really need the assistance on it, he's like, what I would suggest. Not doing drawings and just, but have me help you to make sure you get it done right, but it is expensive.
I know, and I agree, I think. That we should spend the money for this, just. To make sure everything gets done. Correctly, I know it's,
No, I
That
just
is,
gonna
you know.
ask you a question.
okay. Go ahead.
So, just having him though, he'd be just pretty much like a consultant, we wouldn't be hiring another engineer, him, right? Just have him kind of oversee, is that the way I understand? it?
His idea was go with me and then don't, then potentially don't get the drawings from an architect and have, but. I think that'll be sufficient.
Well, I think, I don't have a problem with that, I just don't wanna spend a bunch of money on an architect, go up there and, yeah, do this and do that, if he could be a consultant, I wouldn't mind spending that kind of money, so he takes care of it, done. Why would he pay 2 or 3 guys, you know, he'd have to hire an architect, and then this architect have to get somebody else, it's a brick there or something, and that's all I'm.
The other ideas he has, some of those windows up there are not, not needed and are just potentially a problem for later on for water to get in. So I think he's gonna have some ideas on, yeah, covering those up, and they're not seen from. I think if they were seen from the ground level, then they'd be a part of the historic nature, but my understanding is you can't see them from the ground. The windows there at the base of the dome. It was all just for looks, but, well, I guess it allows sunlight in,
Yeah.
but.
You know, it's something that the guy could sit down with him and just make sure that, you know, if he'd come in, I don't mind having him being, you know. Take over and make sure it's done right, not, I just don't wanna be. It's just me, I just don't see guys don't need to be paying 2 to 3 other guys and architect, you know, brick, all that crap. Then we'll have to have a plumber and stuff and do one deal.
What's your opinion?
So it's the same price as before, it ain't from now.
No. He said, I didn't, I didn't inflate it any, there's gonna be some time and making sure this gets done right. It is, yeah, it is expensive. But you don't have to, if he can do it, help the contractor, so you don't have to have an architect, that'll save you some money.
So why would we need more?
Well, I mean, every time they've done that roof, they've had one, but, yeah, I think I agree with Scott, it's a little over.
Okay, so wouldn't the architect be the one that would be doing the specialist stuff? No?
And have this guy just be the overseer, kind of like Scott from Slate over the
Yeah.
elevator, just
Yeah.
something like that. And then we're not getting into having 2 or 3 other expenses and we can put it together. That's just my thought.
He can draft the specs that would go with the bid documents, he'd draft that, right?
You have to have somebody do that really, because we
Yeah.
can't, I mean, us guys can't sit down and say, well, they're bids, you know.
And then he knows what, there might need to be some work done on the under, the, what do you call that, the wood underneath, in the,
Just the roofing.
yeah,
Once you get
beyond.
down
But the rubber layer, what do you call
to
them?
membrane.
Membrane, all those layers have to come off.
How many times have we done this?
Since I've been here, it's been worked on it 4 times. I was thinking about it 4 times and put thousands of dollars into it. But I keep patching a little spot here, we keep hiring somebody to fix this there, and we went around the dome, try to patch that, next thing you know, painted all inside the dome, and that didn't have to have a year, rain, and then it'll be dripping all the way down in here.
But the last time, well, it just, there's layers of membrane there and they need to be all come off. That's what-
That starts
Yeah,
fresh
that's-
from
This is gonna be a major
couple 100,000.
complete
Yeah.
redo that should give us a guarantee and not have to look at it for at
Yeah.
least 20 years, you'd think. You'd hope. And so is this one of the things that he's gonna make sure that would be what we're
He
doing?
was one that recommended having the asbestos testing done, that's being done and. He'll make sure it's done right. So you don't have,
So he's gonna save us a lot of money. Anyway,
so you don't have problems in the future, yeah, that's what it's.
I just hope we get Julian to, or getting down a little bit more than, you know, just because he passed for so much.
Okay, so is there a motion?
I'll make the motion to go ahead with
Contract services with Dave
Dave
Coffin.
Kaufman for consulting service on the courthouse roof project.
I'll second.
Is there any public comment? All in favor? Aye, motion carried. We can do it to you.
We are getting the 6,000 from Ace and then the additional amount on the, cause they're paying for the, old. removal, so. I guess that's a drop in the bucket, but
Yeah,
it helps.
yeah.
anyway.
So this is absolutely not gonna be this year's project.
No,
Yeah.
it's too late to fall,
Yeah.
but I think if we talk to him, he can start drawing up some plans and get kind of stuff figured out, and then we do budget, now we're just gonna have to try to figure it.
And that's included in this. Drawing up some plans.
Well, at least he can do the specs on that and he doesn't think we need actual drawings. That's above his scope, but he can
No,
do it sufficiently so the contractors will know what they're doing.
none of us know nothing about law.
Would that have a place to sign on it?
No.
I would just put,
Oh, this is something. This is that stuff here. I think that's.
That's the BDS agreement,
That stuff.
yeah,
that one.
This is different, this is.
Zoning tax.
Yeah. We don't have.
Oh, never mind.
Can I not give it to you? It's right there.
No, I better. Not here.
Thank you. It's fine. You're bringing that to my attention.
Yeah.
CRCI Inc. I
Yeah,
got it right
there is
here.
a place to sign. Yeah, that'd be good.
Want to sign this one, too, Don? Not bossy today, aren't I?
That's quite all right.
Well. That's all right, Glenn. Go in the property before we end it back. Maybe I'll have to go over. I will.
Well, I was thinking this was, that he would do the, quality insurance inspection as part of this, but it's not.
What did we need anyone to do with it? Everything was come off, we took a. So now it's either.
Generally, it's up front getting the plan together is what's needed, but
My thought it says here. Maybe before sending it back, a person can. Plan breakdown of each building with roof section numbers. Block each section. That's just the first thing they'll be consulted. Said work with owner or architect on the shop drawings or details, and not scratch that. I think are we supposed to go through and.
I just mark the ones on here.
Oh.
So on that, I'm looking at kind of claims here before we go into weighing on that storage. So is the county gonna pay for the storage until the victim can pick it up?
Yeah, so it come out of the victim witness advocate budget.
Yeah, that's what they've got.
Yeah,
coming
okay.
up there.
Yeah, I seen that tin, kind of putting a tin free bid on.
You know, that's
Josh,
extra. I was thinking that one.
All the insurance inspection,
See all this stuff, yeah, extra.
cool. But this here is very pricey, this here is still. And come through, what, I thought it was $13.
Well,
Maybe we should talk to him a little bit more before we send it back, make sure.
Yeah.
He's signing something that. Well.
yeah, cause I was thinking the 16 included the pre-bid, quality assurance, yeah.
Maybe we, yeah, don't send it back, and
Okay.
talk to him
So
first, and then
what,
we can put it back on the agenda for next week. We're gonna make sure that like the pre-bid and setting that up, they don't show it here, so
Oh.
that might be extra money,
Yeah.
so we wanna make
That
sure.
was a question.
okay,
I thought that was included in it, but it
Okay.
We
wasn't.
don't see it here, I thought it was when it
Okay.
said this, but.
so not to sign this then,
Well, keep it or
keep
whatever.
it and
Yeah.
then put it back on the agenda to make sure
Yeah,
that
the pre-bid and the inspections are part of the 16.
are part of it. Okay, all right.
You get that, Billy?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, so it's now 10:30. We're going to go into monthly claims review and approval.
I guess there's a few things on that, I guess now I don't understand, but I guess.
Yeah, I haven't get on Zoom and talk to you.
You had a question on that?
Yeah, did we make a motion to renew the Big Sky Passenger Rail Authority? And on that note, I was just curious, what are we getting out of this? I know they're trying to do stuff, but actually, what is going on? I mean, they keep saying the same thing over and over, and I read their stuff that we get. It just seems like we're handing money over and we're not, I mean, all the time, we just keep giving more money and we're not really getting.
Yeah, did we say we were gonna do this like in January? Stay with this, that's what I was thinking when I read that. I don't know.
I guess I'm just,
Okay, so the only thing that I see in this is that we agreed to be a member, and those are dues. We didn't say that we were not going to be a member. So I think we'd have to make a motion that we no longer want to be part of this.
I see what you're saying. I just curious, it just seems like we get the same story all the time, and then when they did talk to us, it was just, they're trying to get. And then we're not. They're bypassing places that we thought they were gonna stop, now they're saying they aren't, and I mean, I don't think anybody really knows what's going on, I just. Paying this money all the time, and I'm just kinda curious, is it worth it?
Well, I think right now, because of the fact that this claim has been submitted and we didn't make any kind of motion. I think the next time it comes around, probably discuss it to see if we're still gonna be members. But I think we have to decide that we're not going to be members, and it has to be probably,
Do you have that there, so what it says, Blanche, on that number, that. That big national thing in the claim that I can read it?
I don't know what's the number.
It's right at the beginning.
I guess
1870. Okay.
like it's saying that it attaches our annual voluntary contribution, so it's not that we have to do it, it's just because it's voluntary. I just don't know what's really going on with it, it never really get. And they go by the combination of population and taxable value. Some counties can't do it. And it just goes back to that, did you guys read this letter from them? And it just goes back, while we recognize all of you. In the midst of your FY 25 budget preparations, the sooner you can let us know, you'll be able to provide a voluntary conversion or intergovernmental transfer to the BS or whatever. In your annual budget.
So we have this claim. And it's from, what, Big Sky Rail Link, and they were requesting the dues,
Oh, passenger rail.
yeah. And. So, I guess, what was it that your comment?
I guess I'm just trying to figure out, it's just, as we get, a lot of times it's just that they want this money and we're not really, there's a few updates, but we don't even know what they're doing, and they don't know what they're doing, I don't know why, they're even saying some counties aren't doing it. So, why,
The only thing I'd say is you guys are still a part of it. If you don't wanna do the dues, then I get out, I would,
deny the claim?
no, I'd pay the claim, but
Yeah.
then get on the agenda to remove yourselves, from the big passenger rail, since you're already part of it.
Why pay the claim?
But since you're current,
Yeah.
or get on the agenda to,
It's only voluntary.
yeah. But, yeah,
I don't know, I guess maybe I'm making too big a time.
I just think you don't wanna pay it, I'd get out of it.
I mean, it seems to me they're gonna do whatever they get told to do, especially now that new outfit took over. From Rail Link now to BSNL, I mean, these guys, you haven't heard a thing about it from them, I mean, they've upgraded and done stuff, and I don't think.
The lane on.
She has her hand up, actually. You guys want to hear from her?
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. I was gonna wait until the end when comments, but you're talking about Big Sky Passenger Rail, BISPRA. And Mr. Adler doesn't know what's going on. You do know that every time they have a meeting, there's a notice in the newspaper. I personally have invited you and brought it to your attention that everybody can be at the meeting, ask questions, comments. And I guess I attend. I haven't seen any of you. So if you're really interested and you don't know what's going on and you'd like to know what's going on, I can arrange to have the chairman, Dave Strohmeyer, who's already told me he would be more than happy to discuss it with you.
And
So I can have him contact Billy or you and be put on the agenda. I thought this was already agreed because from what I'm looking at BISPRA, the information that they're thankful that Granite County was one of the counties that has given their contribution. So I'm kind of confused on that one. So again,
Can I
if
ask
you
question?
don't understand what's going on, I'll get in touch with the chairman and he'll contact you.
Can I ask you a question, Lena?
Sure.
So what's gonna happen now with the new people that took over the railroad? I mean, this is the stuff that wasn't even, I read that newsletter, but it don't say nothing about the new people, what they're thinking and how they're supporting or nothing.
What new people taking over there?
So,
Real.
the BNSF down at Montana Rail Link sold out.
We're still working with them. Nothing has changed. And the only thing that, the whole reason why I'm involved with this, and I think it's a great idea, is because Drummond and Phillipsburg, the county, has a place at the table. Because I want the station at Drummond. I think we all do. And then we can have the short line going from Drummond to Phillipsburg, which will help Phillipsburg a lot, especially with traffic and parking and everything else. And so that's the whole thing. We are on the at the table when there is a discussion.
There's, the problem is with the short line you're talking about coming from Drummond to Phillipsburg, there's some private ground in there, and that's why they tore all them bridges out, because it's their own ground, and they're not giving that back up. There isn't a full easement through.
I beg to differ. There's a lot of ranches that did it without permission. Okay, and it's in the files that some of that has been ripped up without any permission. And so with the money that's involved with this, there would be money. And again, I'd like to see under the transportation boards that Granite County has, we have the airport board. I'd like to see the railway board.
We don't have.
And there would be grants and a hell of a lot of money, just like there's available for an airfield that nobody uses.
Who would pay for the short line?
I'm sorry.
Who would pay for the short line to develop it? From Drummond
That
to
would be the county. And I think it would be worthwhile.
You have
And
to,
have both Drummond and the other two entities, Drummond and Phillipsburg, involved with it.
well, we'd have to put a new bridge in and that, because that bridge was condemned, because you can't turn there.
Everything would be discussed if you stay as members. If you drop membership, then you don't have any say. And there won't be any money available.
Okay, so. Thank
Like-
you, Elena.
My advice is, yeah, pay or get on your agenda to withdraw.
let's put it on the agenda. Withdraw.
Okay, so we're gonna disallow that claim then. And get it on the agenda
You know,
to
Next week.
no longer be part of this.
That's my opinion.
Does that have to be motion made during claims?
It
So
would,
we'll put it on the agenda for next week.
Yeah, you just table that claim.
Okay.
Yeah.
So disallow it.
Or.
You're just holding on.
Yeah, we have to
Yeah.
pull it
Yeah,
because,
full,
Yes,
yeah.
we're holding.
okay.
Thank you, thanks, Elaine.
She has another public comment.
Go ahead, Elena.
Thank you. Just a point of clarification. So you're gonna put it on for next week, and I guess it'll be this particular warrant and also whether or not you want to drop membership. So I will get in touch with Dave Strohmeyer, and hopefully he'll get in touch with you guys and discuss time and stuff. Thank you.
Thank you, Elena.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Really, I'm gonna email that rather fire shipping, resolution, out. Do you want a copy of it too, other than
I
that?
think I need a copy of it. If you email it to me, I can.
So what's cyber liability?
That's so they can't break into a computer, I think they said once before, Blanche, isn't that the way? it
Well,
works?
Well, if we have, yeah, created liability through, viruses or hack or
Required.
whatever, yeah, there's no liability insurance.
We're required to have that, right? I feel like.
No, but it's
Okay.
but they're saying it's a big exposure to
Yeah.
liability if you don't have the.
Yeah, when they were after me doing that, they brought this in, and it's.
Yeah, there's exposure there.
So we forgot to talk about the Drummond house that they had put a new water heater in.
Yeah, I told Dave to get hold of you, and then he come in and talk this morning, I'm bringing it up that about the rest of that. The pipes and that, but we've been talking to them other plumbers, and Dave come in before the meeting, we talked to him for 5-10 minutes there and got everything took care of, but. We gotta hear back from them other guys that we told them to go ahead and do it,
The plumbing,
yeah. So.
Saltenberg.
Billy's in with being, trying to get in touch with them again, but. I mean, yeah, it was all, he had to put a hot water tank in, that's all it is, and then the other plumbing, we're just, if we don't hear back from them, so I'm gonna go out find the plumbing.
well, he can do it.
Dave is good on it. Well,
Dave
they got
can do
it.
it. The plumbing,
He's not a certified plumber.
we can still do it.
Well, they're saying it had to be certified, because they gotta go through that other stuff. And I don't know, that's just what we got told from the certified plumbers. So I think we got better just try to stay and make sure, especially where you have rangers, that it's done and done right and certified. I mean, I don't, that's one thing. Soon as we hear back from them others, then we can go move ahead.
We can hold this one. What, just table it
Yeah, table out.
for now.
I can steal it from you and I'll put it. With your stuff for next week. I just got a phone message from someone with Harley Davidson. Apparently they want to see if they could park some vehicles in that area next to the dam at Georgetown Lake Chapel on Monday. Apparently they're doing some filming in the area.
Who's doing it?
Harley Davidson.
There's nothing else to go on, but they have to have their own insurance and like, same as we do with everybody
Well,
else, right?
If they're like. Parked in a right of way alongside the road, I don't know that they need a
No,
permit, are they talking about wanting to be actually on the chapel property?
I think just in that parking area that's in front of the
Oh, okay.
chapel, I think they have
I
some
think we
vehicles,
gotta
like,
have some case somebody tips over
Yeah.
and runs into.
So you still have to have,
and they'll need to have vehicles parked there, she said, for about 6 hours in her message,
Yeah,
how many?
about 6 hours,
I think you wanna see their, yeah,
I guess,
Insurance.
proof of
policy.
liability.
yeah, in case somebody
Just-
come in and, yeah,
yeah,
cause we never have gotten the barriers up with somebody on the ledge.
naming the county as an additional insured.
Yes, that'd be the best bet, Billy.
Okay. Okay.
Hey, Blanche, use this one. I'll get them numbers and stuff on them.
Oh,
Those on reimbursement.
No,
Shirts.
Who's in that? Is that the deputy?
This is coming out of, ambulance.
Oh, okay. I went down and checked out what they did in the ambulance shed when they painted and cleaned and put up that other stuff. It cost like $1,900. I'll tell you what, they did a really,
Yeah.
really good job and it looks nice. It's got rid of all that
Yeah,
and everything. They sealed that back wall. They did a really good job. Oh, you have hot water at least, huh? And that $300 on that capital room, the one I approved, is when I climbed up in the roof with them.
Yeah.
I just wanna-
yeah, I remember that, yeah.
Just wanna stay on the top of it.
Oh, did you put your practice?
Just having, sorry.
Yes, now. All right.
When that claim from the fair board, did they send us the stuff to make motion to accept that? Cause remember that one year we got into.
Oh, we got it late. I have not, no one has spoken to me about that.
Cause I know that one year that we sent the money and then they try to put it into something different, so I did, usually they always have something on this. Go with the
I'll
$3,000.
follow up. I didn't see that one, so that's for the Tri-County Fair this year.
I'm on it today, ain't ya?
Good.
I get it. And like on that US geological survey, is that the one with that thing? Why would we pay it until they update it, or is this I just really.
I think that's the annual one that we have to,
It's a joint funding thing, but
yeah, I think they pay for part of it and we pay for part of it, but it is a requirement of FERC that we have the USGS monitoring device. I have something for next week too concerning
they
the
don't get paid, they get called.
USGS. And then the agreement
And
is.
stuff is for the Bremer Dam building,
Yeah.
is it taken out of county building?
Yeah. No, I. They have some other paint, they're gonna, that, they don't need to buy no more, they have someone gonna paint the outside stuff too, so that's all this, and Frank said they're doing that themselves. Looking nice, though, I think Foreman ambulance is out, shining them all up, and inside, it's pretty nice in there. One of the bathrooms are good, spotless, and it hasn't been done since I've been, I mean, they swept it up there. Just to lump it out, it's about right. It's operated. Yeah.
Billy,
Yes. I can get rid of that. Can you take them?
as soon as Scott gets back, we'll have a motion to approve. Guess we don't need him. Scott, to make a motion, monthly claims.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Get in here. So motion's been made to approve the claims excluding the one for,
Second.
is there any public comment? All in favor? Aye, motion carried and passed. Okay, so it's 11 o'clock. Sarah Morris with Coast to Coast to discuss the possible purchase of county ambulance. Morning, Sarah.
So, there is a ambulance behind the search and rescue ambulance. It's a 1994, box ambulance, blue and white one. Used to be an old Drummond ambulance. It's in Phillipsburg right now. As far as we can gather, it hasn't ran in a number of years. I'd like to buy this ambulance, and for two reasons. It would either go for parts for the other ambulance that we lease, or if we can get it up and running, it'll be a third ambulance for us, and we'll possibly put it towards the ranch, because we have a lot of calls are at the ranch, and that's saving us 20 to 30 minutes and call response time. I would like to propose $500. This is in our experience, this is the amount you get for a scrap ambulance of that size in a year. But I'd like to buy that for 500 as coast to coast. I did talk to Robert Littlejohn as well, and he says that they haven't used that truck as far as they know. It is not licensed by the EMS board, just because it has been running for so long. And I don't think that anyone mechanic wise has looked at it in quite some time. So obviously I'd buy it with the assumption that it does not run. And
I thought the ranch had their own.
I don't know, they have their own fire engine. But they
They
don't
were
have their own
headed down
ambulance.
to Phoenix and we're gonna bring two back. What's his name, Dave,
Yeah.
Patrick Little.
Patrick Little.
Yeah, they had it all set up and they bought them and everything.
Right, as of right now, they do not have an ambulance, or
Go
maybe,
get 'em.
I don't know what happened there.
Remember that?
It's not specifically for the ranch, it's just that's a place that we could put it, just to be on the west side of the county.
$500 for the ambulance?
Yeah.
I don't know, I'd have to look into it, I mean, I don't know what's wrong with it or what, I just.
Where is it now?
It's parked on the side of the ambulance bay in
Yeah.
Phillipsburg, yes, in between the fire department and the ambulance bay, and it's behind the search and rescue one, so it's a blue and white one.
So they don't use it.
They do not use it.
What year is it?
1994. Fairly old. So it's either gonna be parts or hopefully we can get it up and running. That's
Yeah, I
my
have a 1987 truck. I'm still riding.
I was 77.
It's not in use and it's stripped down, did you say, or just?
Yeah, there's no equipment inside at all. I mean, it has like the normal equipment, like your lights and your siren, but no medical equipment in there. No drawing, no nothing. And the $500 is because when we scrap ambulances back out in Ohio and other places, that's what the scrap metal is 500, so that's essentially what it's worth right now.
Can we sell it, I guess, that's the next question, or do you have to put it up, I guess, I mean.
Oh, that would be a question for Blaine if we have to put it up to bid.
Cause it seems like every
Yeah.
time we tried to sell, remember we were gonna sell that pickup, we got our asses in trouble.
From my understanding, it's the value amount, so if it's under a certain amount of money, then you're able to sell it.
But if you're just selling it to another entity, I don't think we can, I mean, I don't have a problem with this, but I just think. Yeah, I just know that it's
It's county property.
correct, it's on that surplus.
Well, here's Blaine's here. Blaine. So Sarah wants to, have made a proposal to possibly buy the county ambulance that's parked in back and they're not using. Do we have to go through any process because it is
So the statute says it is not needed for county business, you could sell it, and then it'd have to go to a public auction by the statute. So those two things.
So if it's a private business. You can't. You can,
It doesn't matter who the purchaser it's required to sell it, you have to go through the public bidding process.
so we have to go through public bidding process.
Well, let's do it.
They're $1.
Yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I think it's, there is a dollar amount that, what's the value of the ambulance?
About $500. It doesn't run,
Oh.
so that's what you would get from scrap. So that's.
There,
what
yeah,
it's saying.
okay, there is a dollar amount where that's required, it's either 2,500 or 5,000.
Yeah, this would not be worth that. Even running, it wouldn't be worth it.
Why do you want it?
For either scrap or to get it to, not scrap, sorry, for parts for the other ambulance that we lease. And
That's
then,
our ambulance there.
yes, that is your ambulance that we lease. So it
Why-
doesn't,
Again, I'm just asking these questions, why would you wanna buy it for our ambulance? When we
because I'm
already-
required to.
And we
pay-
already have a
maintenance
board parts if we needed it.
I'm required to pay maintenance on the ambulance that we lease for.
But I mean, you
general
wouldn't
maintenance.
have to pay 500 for it if you needed stuff on it, if we'll get it off. of it.
Oh, to get, oh, I understand what you're saying. Yeah, well, my hope
They need
is-
it for their ambulance, why wouldn't you just take? it?
Yeah, but we can get rid of it.
My hope is to get it up and running and use it as an
Oh,
ambulance.
that's the big thing.
Yeah, that's
Not
my
so
hope,
much about
But
it,
it's not,
There's no
so much about the
guarantee.
Part thing.
not parting it
Yeah.
out, she's gonna get it up and running.
That's like worst case scenario, if I can't
Oh.
get it up and running, then
That's
I
all.
can use it for parts, that's all. I'm hoping it should be able to, it's been sitting for quite a while, so I don't know if there's any issues or what.
This is not the one under a lease, so right now.
No,
it's
no,
other-
this is not the least one.
I don't, cause sitting there forever, I'd get rid of it, but I just wanna make sure we do it the right way, and then if we just sold it to her and somebody comes in, you know.
Yeah.
Maybe they'll have a big meltdown.
If it has to
Yeah,
go,
that's why a public sale would be probably
Yeah.
better in any event, because, then other people can say, oh, they didn't give me an opportunity.
So,
But I can look up the dollar amount, I
Okay.
think it's 2,500 or 5,000.
and if we went to a public sell or whatever, I'll just put a proxy bid, so I don't even have to be there. So,
Yeah, it could
We
be
should do
where
seal.
people just
It's
send
sealed,
send in a sealed bid, yeah. But,
And well, what's not fair though, is she already said it's even offered 500, you know, you can change your bid or whatever, but I'm just, that's not really fair, this is on public notice now, that everybody knows where you said you get 500, so.
can leave it out of your minutes, but yeah, this is on.
Hey,
We gotta buy it though.
yeah, if someone
Yeah.
wants
I
it
hope-
more than that, they
You know,
can have it.
that's why they
That's
buy
all I'm doing,
trucks, cause they're enclosed and they're nice, a lot of people put welders and stuff in them,
and that's fine.
cause they're heavy duty. But I mean, it don't run, that's the thing, I
okay, so. Blaine, are you suggesting your opinion is if we put it up for,
Yeah, the statute says 25, in excess of 2,500 to do the public auction, but I would just do the
Yeah.
public auction, so it's.
So- do we need to get that on the agenda? Or can we do it right now?
You can,
I'll get it for discussion decision.
yeah, so you could, yeah, you could put it out for.
Okay,
public
so,
auction.
I mean, I just.
Yeah,
wouldn't take
and
it.
I don't, you can leave the $500 and I don't, if someone wants this more than me, that's fine.
Yeah.
But that's as far as I would go, so.
The other question I have is, Robert Littlejohn's good with it too?
Yes,
Okay,
yeah, I
all
spoke
right.
with him, he doesn't even know the last time it's been running or in use, so to him, it's just sitting there, so it doesn't.
I'd like to
quite
just
matter.
sell it to you, like, hey, I know somebody will.
Yeah.
Well,
so,
I'd like the motion to put it up a bit.
okay,
Exactly.
okay. Okay, any
Feel
public
good?
comment? Things none, all in favor? Aye. Okay, so put your bid in.
I will,
What
thank
do we have to do to get it?
We need to have a dead, ending time on bid and the opening of bid, so give it
Yeah.
next week, put it on for. Bid for next week and then the Tuesday after next week, open bid on it.
Well, I'll
That
send
way
it
she
to,
knows.
I'll send it to the paper
Yeah.
this week. It'll run for 2 weeks and it'll have the date that we're gonna
Yeah.
open bids and I'll have that on your next agenda.
Okay.
Cause you already motioned on it.
So, in the
Thank you, Karen.
third week, basically.
Yeah, about 3
Does that
weeks.
get too far out?
Oh, no,
In the
that's
paper
fine.
twice, okay. In the
Yeah.
paper twice and then third week could be on the agenda.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Sarah.
Thanks.
Hi there.
Hi there, these two were missed. And
Oh.
I'm missing one.
Oh, they pulled one out that will not be going out this week. They will discuss it further next.
We got to put it on the agenda for next week from Big Sky.
I need to know when those get pulled like that.
We're still talking.
Okay, because otherwise, I mean, generally, if I don't count them all, I just hit the go button and it runs the checks.
Well, she showed you that we were pulling that one.
No,
Oh, no,
I
she
didn't. I
didn't.
just set it on the
Okay,
desk.
well, I thought, sorry.
Thank you.
You bad girl,
I
Billy.
know.
Do we have the bin number, like the year and all of that ambulance?
You know, I'm thinking since it's not even, we don't even have a license plate or anything on it anymore, I bet it's been pulled from our fixed assets. It's something that doesn't run.
So you give the,
Or we'll go down there and get it off of there
yeah, I could,
too.
yeah,
Yeah.
year and model and where it's located, and we can say that they can go look at it.
I mean, I'd like to have just sold it to her today, but you know, what, I,
You're right.
somebody will come.
You're-
It's better to do it that way.
Well, he's been yelled at enough,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
I mean, I hope they can, they're running at work, more power to them, I mean. Whatever we can do to keep them around and help them, but.
We've got about 10 minutes before our next agenda item.
So didn't we pay for those ambulances at the ranch?
No, they were buying them themselves and they were setting up, they were asking us for help to put stuff in them.
Oh,
And then, that, the guy that owned the thing, yeah, we talked to him there, and they, I swore they bought two of them, and they were supposed to go to Arizona to get them.
mhm.
Patrick Little was the one that was in charge of that, and I remember him sitting there saying they're sending people down to get them. Just to cover their, and it'd help on their insurance out there.
Mhm.
So the county did not end up buying those, is what you're saying.
No, that was their deal. Cause they just wanna make sure they had one there 24 hours a day, and we didn't have enough to take it out there and leave, so. With their rodeo and all of this. Horse riding, whatever they do. That's something we couldn't just turn around and sell that to them, who cares?
I don't see anyone else, I think she makes a good point, if someone else wants it more, they can, but I don't think. Covered your. Due diligence. Need some help with the language of that bid notice, Billy?
I'm
You
just
could
gonna, I'll send it to you.
Okay, I just use the one like you do for
Everything else.
everything else, yeah.
If you go down there too, and look at it, when you look inside, make sure if there's a radio on that, it's gotta come out.
Yep.
Unless, you know, there's.
Yeah,
I'll look.
Some radios, I see you just bought another one, that was $1,000, just the radio.
the notice could say, yeah, as is where it is.
I always make sure that's in there.
Yeah, but the radios, them may be obsolete. But it would be one of the same.
And then the notice could say that. Yeah, non-operating, I mean, yeah,
Non-operating.
so there's, that's closed.
I just think they got them newer ones, and now we're just gonna like, try to go back, I don't even remember. Pick up. Bring them up, but. What the date that was the meeting with him,
No, Nick,
was it Nick?
yeah,
Yeah, Nick looked at that stuff years ago, and he was really always having to look at stuff. Where's he?
he's still there. Not sure if he does anything with the ambulances or not anymore, does the school buses.
Well, I see on your note where Nico said that the health insurance thing was up to the commission.
The commission and the and getting the health insurance provider to agree to it, be the two conditions. And I was gonna look and see who the state used, I will do that, find out who the state goes with. Yeah.
Oh. Bringing that up, I was down there Sunday when he was getting it done, there's just a couple little piles, he did a good job and cleaned it up, and he's got a couple little piles left to do. They had a truck come in. We got a big argument down there. I just told them that they should probably ask permission to be on other people's ground before they start.
They went under your, oh, alright.
No way, and then he just started getting all upset and was mad that he didn't have more time. I said, you've had 3 years. I'm not gonna stand out here and argue over this. This is the way it is. So.
What's that on?
That demolished trailer down there. He got it all cleaned up, looked good. He did a good job.
So he did it on his own?
Some people out of California come in and haul it out. The bottom part of it, and they strapped it all down. It's cleaned up. It looks good.
Good, alright,
He did a good job.
Dr. Khan's letter did it.
Yeah, he was all upset with her, and you got him checked, I got checked.
I drafted a letter for her to
Yeah,
sign.
she's-
I just told him, there's no excuses, you've had 3 years to do this, you sit here and he was just all down. He said he
Be a
had
good neighbor, be a good neighbor.
Said he had permission to be there, and I was on the phone with him. They did, it's all.
Is he related to like Angela Reisenauer?
Hmm.
Like she's married to a
She's a
Reisenauer.
singer? No,
Is it really, she's married now to
yeah,
Reisenauer.
that's. Angela the singer.
Yeah, oh, okay. Alright, good to know.
Man, no,
But
he did a good
it's-
job.
It's called being a good neighbor, don't. These trailers are probably gonna be a problem more and more, but that's the way to go, just have the local health officer.
Well, that
Well,
way
that
we
is
don't
like a
get into
prosecutor.
paying like the last time, $6,000, you know, but the city of Drummond should never got involved and did. But I got through back on this,
Yeah.
so. No,
Well,
it's
no
never
man's land.
happened again. There's a lot of,
We took that out of the sanitary.
Yeah, or the
Junk vehicle.
junk vehicle,
Oh, junk vehicle.
cause there's one, yeah,
but if there's an order from Dr. Khan, they violate that, I can prosecute. That it's a misdemeanor, not violate that. Local health officer order. The issue with Drummond was the person was deceased,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
like the people that had, they could never sold.
who ended up tearing that apart, was it? Roosevelt?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Did a good job.
That fire restriction resolution was sent out to all the agencies in the news.
Yep, I got it updated online too, that our fire restrictions have
The
changed.
sheriff is gonna update it too on Facebook. I emailed Dave Kaufman, let him know you're gonna have that on the agenda next week. Yeah, I was thinking the 16,000 included the. Pre-inspection and the inspections, or pre-construction. Bid meeting and the inspections.
That's a big deal.
Well. Yeah, for 16,000, that should cover that.
Get a raise and then I can sell it.
Yeah. It's a lot of. As a side note, we put in that resolution, no fires of any kind, so I mean, even like using a torch then would be not allowed.
That's a good idea.
I don't know if that was too broad for you guys.
Did you print them pictures off, Billy? About northwestern Blackwood and all that?
I can't, I just have them in a file.
Did it say campfires?
Well, I thought you meant any fires of any kind, so it'd be broad enough to include a torch, but. You still have the ag exemptions. I mean, do you really want people using torches out there?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, you're down that way, it's.
Well, yeah, you can use a torch though. You know, in a cleared area.
How many places you break down, it's a cleared area and you're out there with.
We get clear, I mean, I used to do it all the time. I mean,
I guess someone can ask for an exception or whatever, if they got it, but that's what you guys. Sorry, that's why I misinterpreted what you were saying.
Holy.
So
I didn't think of that.
Do you want these printed or do you just wanna look at them? I have quite a few.
I just figured what they said.
Yeah.
They said they had pumps and stuff, you know, you told them.
So this is Northwestern Energy. There's one of theirs. Here's the other one that they have for each project. And then this is,
They're in their yard, so they're not out on the job.
yeah, these are the ones Northwestern's gonna
You
do.
see
back in the
that?
shop.
I mean, yeah, you can go back and take, I could have went to Axman and took pictures and say, this is what we have. And
Here's Blackfoot Contractors. There's one of them.
one other thing about like that there, it's just, they're pumping water into the driller. It's not a pump on there. I mean, how are you gonna take that and go fight?
There's their
that was my
one.
point when you have to inspect them. Is
Here's another one they said.
Well,
if they even work.
You open all
yeah, you don't want to sham bill, it says reasonable fire inspection equipment, they should have to show that it's operational.
What's in them tanks
On-
mixed with
on
that water
site.
for cutting down that, you know, cutting through a rock? Is there a mixture of something in that water or is that just pure water? When it's just.
of them. Okay, here's all of them now. I have them all open.
Well, we don't have to worry about it.
Yeah, sure, yeah, you can send it.
Oh. This one.
Yeah, they're just using what they use on the, they're not. You know, stuff, fighting fires, it's just what they have there. I knew that's what he meant. That's why I said.
They said on
They might
site,
have one.
the resolution said on site.
Okay, 1120 BDS print and mail services agreement for tax statements discussion and decision.
Is this from in there?
Yes.
Is she coming in?
No, I don't believe so. You guys talked to her about this when you did that update with her like a month ago.
This is gonna save a
Save
bunch of
money,
time
yeah.
and that.
Save
Yeah.
money.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll make a motion to accept the VBS billing document specialist.
If I can,
Any public comment? Just to clarify, this is going to help the treasurer's office with a lot of time getting tax statements out.
Save some
and
money.
the price was $3,198. For $3,198.
Correct.
So it has, this is a contract,
Yes.
so do the commission has signed it?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's like,
Or would she sign it?
I encourage the officials not to sign, to have you guys sign,
So you encourage the treasurer sign it?
the commission to sign,
Oh, the commission
Yeah.
sign it? Oh, okey then.
yeah. You know, the sheriff will sign contracts like that, I just,
We have to do two again?
No.
Yeah.
and did you vote on it?
Client, business name, so county,
Chuck seconded.
I don't know
Yeah,
what she called it.
because you said
Called her.
3,000 stock, whatever, the dollars. Just wait.
What's this?
Give it that.
Did you want to?
Sure,
We'll get along.
photocopies are good enough, but yeah.
What I put county treasurer,
Where do you put it?
Granite
County
County,
business and county treasurer. Yeah.
Aye.
what,
Oh, call for the vote.
are you guys staring at? Okey dokey. Hey, so, there we go. The next agenda item, designation of Granite County's alcohol tax dollars.
I take this lady, just keeps wrong, that's what we made it, said it, now she's saying that the ones that we gave the money can't do it. Is that what you read it?
Well, that's,
Why,
I
why
have
can't we
the
just,
packet.
what we went with? I
but
mean,
Gene Starr was not part of the other people that even wanted it to begin with.
Yeah, and so you guys gave them to her last year. She does services remotely because with Western Montana Mental, I can't remember, or whatever it was over there was no
Montana
longer
Addiction.
operational.
I think we went in a Senate to Western Montana and they must have maybe distributed to her.
Nope, she came in and talked to you guys last year and asked if she could receive it since they weren't operational and you guys gave it to her for the last fiscal year. But she wasn't actually on your list as the designated person. I think Zenith View is in Phillipsburg, maybe.
I didn't recall that the state even had her down, did they?
She had to get some additional certifications to be able to receive them, I
Oh,
believe, or
but-
additional areas or something.
The commission already committed that,
Yeah.
yeah, that's a binding, I think binding agreement, so I think I'd encourage you to consider for next year.
maybe 50-50 for next year, we'll see how this works and they can come in and plead their cases.
Yeah,
Are we fiscal 25 committed?
they're
Okay,
using,
so,
they go to.
yeah, I guess this would be maybe respond to her
And they are.
saying that
approved with-
this year was committed and maybe request next year. We go 50-50.
Or,
Is that, or
or, I just say, consider her next year, or whatever,
consider her next year?
next fiscal.
Works for you guys, we don't have to make motion.
Correct.
No, we already,
We-
I agree.
Okay. Okay, so, that decision has been discussed and made, and, we're gonna take a break until 12 o'clock, and we'll work on the Granite County budgets for fiscal 2025.
Did she have everything ready, so we kind of, like these two were. Otherwise,
She has some specific budgets I know she wants to discuss with you this afternoon.
she wants to discuss this.
Yes, specific budgets that she wanted either more insider information from you guys on what to do.
I agree with Blanche, like on that, they can't just take a line item and throw it off, and then we don't
Yeah.
have enough on that.
Yeah.
So now that they're gonna go to the site, we will do it.
So we could probably go off now, we're taking a break.
Okay. Right, you are all good to go.
What's 22,371?
The mill,
The mill?
So for the countywide,
Oh, I thought it was 1382. What's that top number there?
that's the total market value.
because last year I thought we were 14.
Yeah, last year we were 21,210.
Cause we were 15,222.
The year before that. Yeah, and then it jumped way up But then, of course, our mills, I mean, we had like, 130 mills, but it was 15. And then last year it went to like, the mills was 21 and some, and then we only had like 99 mills.
So how many mills do we have this year?
This year, 103.33.
So these, you redid these,
Yeah, it was 103.87. Yeah, but then there's this other weird little thing for that line number 3.5. And I didn't have that in there. I had it in the wrong spot. And so, anyway,
so each mill. Is worth,
22,371.
And a total of 103.33 mills.
Yes.
22,371,
Yeah.
each mill is worth that?
Yeah. Last year it was 21 to 10, something like that. 21.
I had it wrote down, but
I can go get it from last year. Cause it jumped way up
Like,
from,
I'm
with the
confused
new,
here, because it went from 1,300 to 22,000.
no, it went from 2021, around 21 up to 22,371. So let me go get last year's.
let's see, how many years ago was it 15?
That was like 3 years ago. I can go get some.
I'm confused. She's using the second figure when usually you take the whole thing and each, like, I would look at it and say last year's was 1345. Each mill is worth 1345, and this year it's 1382, so it went up a little bit. And she's saying last year each mill is not worth 21,810. That's absolutely no way. And this year it's 22,000.
22,370. You gotta take this.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, last year it was 21,810. And then that had jumped up considerably from the year before. The year before it was only 15,524.
Thanks.
Okay.
So that it was 2 years ago that it was the 15,524, and then last year it went to 21,810. And
Well, it
this
went
year,
way up last year.
right, and that's because of how the stuff got valued.
And,
Yeah,
but then we dropped from.
but the mills
The
dropped.
total mills, we used to have like 139.
Right.
103.
And it all has to do with that whole calculation that you can only, the average of the last 3 years, you can only go up 1/4% or something, add in, I don't know.
So really,
But it's so that you can't, it doesn't like
it's about the
skyrocket.
same, it's just they lowered the total mills that we have and gave us a
Right,
price of 22,000.
Yeah.
So we're.
yeah. So, and now it's crept up a little bit, the mills are 103.
0.33.
Yeah, and I think, and that has to do with this other calculation that they're putting in there, this loss of taxes in 2024.
Right.
So they add some stuff back into it, and that's, I think, how we ended up with the 103 or something. I don't know. I don't
So what do
understand
you
all
have for
that.
it now?
So, ugh. So anyway, what it ends up, if you look at that, I've kind of done a little bit preliminary stuff. So we've got the 103, and when I added all of just not in the general fund, but the other ones, it just comes up to like 45. And so there still is like 58 left. But when I did the general
I hate to be a pain in the
Yeah.
ass, but when you do this, could we each get
Get
a copy?
of one of those?
That way we can all look at the same thing at the same time.
Okay,
that all
that's right. The issue and what I don't know what to do and how to do all
Well,
of
just
this.
like that there, I mean, we're talking about that and Blanche has it, and
Mhm.
looking at each other like.
So last year there was only
99.
99.
Yeah.
And so this year we get 103.
103.
We got 4 more mills, 4.33 mills to put out still.
Actually a lot more. So when I went through the general with like a 25% reserve on the general, then it still only comes up to using 41 mils. So there still is quite a bit. But that's with the general. So. Going through and just, I know this is where.
So for your reserve,
Mhm.
what, or do you have a basic reserve you're putting in there?
For the general one, I did it, I tried, because the last few years it's been really bad and I've only been doing like 20%. But the general, I did that at the 20%, but then when that only came up to.
Couple.
Yes, oh.
Oh, I can. do that.
No, you're fine, sit down. That one.
Adding up everything, and maybe I was doing it quickly today, so. It only came up to like 35 mils in the general. When I added.
Do you have any?
Yeah, I do.
Calculate everything.
Got one on your phone.
So Billy said that you had certain funds that you needed. to-
Oh, yeah, so. I mean, it looks like the general fund's gonna be good, but I still need to. I need the entitlement and that's so that I can.
Can we do it, we can just stay focused on one piece at a time, otherwise
Yeah, okay, so here's what,
I'm not trying to be.
there's the road.
Starting on the.
Yeah, there were a few that I wanted to talk to that would be of help to me.
You know, and we were talking about this morning, cause Paul brought it, I'll wait till Blanche comes,
Mhm.
so we're on the same page.
You want a calculator? Oh, and there's one right here.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah.
There's one.
Hey, we haven't made the road one, not very like last year.
Did you find your calculator?
Oh, they might want.
They found it.
Found two.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome. Now you each get one.
Okay, so, I guess the first thing, are we ready to talk about the road? That's what you handed me first.
Okay,
We wanna make sure we leave this line where the contractor's hauling, even if it just shows 0, we don't wanna take that 390 completely out.
Right, okay,
Right?
well, yeah, because you have years.
right. It's just that was one that we added in last year because he was about the, yeah, I think he must have gone over it with you.
Well, he said
Because I
that
had asked him
we're
about
gonna
it.
take it out and we will.
No, I needed to know about the budget for it, because he had 100, that there was 100,000 that was budgeted for it last year, we didn't use any of it. I
I know,
went back through, so that's why I was wondering if you wanted to lower it, or if you wanted to keep it at the 100, and he didn't seem to. He didn't seem to think that it needed to stay at 100, that it could probably go to 10,000.
Well, I think you better leave it an island, leave something in there just in case we have to, so we don't have to.
Right, he was saying like leave 10,000 in there.
So what budget are we talking about?
Road.
That he put 100, that he had.
The contracted, the contracted one for the 390,
Other purchase for-
yeah. They put it, you
Yeah,
guys
'cause
put it in there
he told
for,
us- He's told us that you and him agreed just to take it completely out, but he can't. The guy could leave a little bit in there. Just in case,
Just in case.
right, yeah,
But it-
and that's what he had said, you know,
Is
so it's
this,
10,000.
is this something that we were taking that contracted services out of gas tax, right?
Right, and I think that might have been like an overflow if there was and I think maybe that's why it was put in there, but I mean, and it's fine to leave 10,000. When I went back through the budget, because we hadn't used any of it, there were two things that we probably could have done it, but those things came up to less than $5,000.
Okay, so
It was
you
one thing for park and one thing for,
you didn't use any this
No.
year at all in
Mm-mm.
fiscal 24.
no, that's why I asked him about it. And he thought just to leave like maybe 10.
Yeah, anyway, come in for us, or you guys were just agreed to take it on, we said no. And then he must come back in.
Yeah, I mean, that was how I thought that we kind of left it before he came in here, which is fine.
No, I'm not,
Doesn't-
I'm just.
Yeah,
wanna make
yep,
sure we're-
nope, we want to be all on the same page.
So the road, okay, so did you do 2 separate solid wastes?
I haven't even gotten to solid waste. Yeah, oh,
Cause here's,
yeah,
what I wanted to bring up to you is get rid of the middleman with solid waste. And save 20,000. Cause you've got the administrative stuff getting done in the treasurer's office. And we might as well just discuss it right now. And say, and that would be getting Paul would not be project manager, it would be. If the supervisors in their own rights at the sites would call into the commissioners.
Yes and no, when we tried that before, it never worked.
We never tried it before.
Well, I mean, they were in charge of trying to get stuff fixed when I first started, they'd call in and you have to go look, I haven't bothered, I don't know how many times to look at stuff. I'm not saying that's not a bad thing to get rid of them, I'm not saying that, I just.
So you're saying that that's the reason that Cindy was hired, is because she was the middle person to go through, to the commissioners instead of going through the supervisors at the sites?
Yeah, that and whatever else she did there, and getting all that other line.
Yeah,
but I just saying.
Whatever else she did went into the treasurer's office. I mean, yes or no? Give me a reason why we have to keep.
You know, the one thing is just keeping everything running and that and going and getting stuff, so we'll have to, them guys will have to go get their own parts and. I'm just.
What do they keep running?
Like. Backhoes or.
Yeah, there's a lot of things.
Okay.
so anyway, the reason I wanted to take a look at the road, so. Going through all the numbers and what is entered, oh, here's the big thing that I learned at convention last week. Eric Bryson, they're pretty sure, they're 99% sure. Because the federal government has not signed off on a bunch of budgeting things. And it's not looking like the Secure Rural Schools Act, the Forest Service money, this happened a couple of years ago, I think. But that they're not gonna sign that, and we're not gonna get that money, so that's like almost $300,000 that's not gonna go into the road this year. So that brings us to, we're gonna be shy about $600,000 just to get
Okay,
the
you're
road.
looking at the budget side, so you wanna look at did you put the revenue side on here?
I've got it here.
And that's real iffy, that's the really iffy one, and this is,
What are they gonna do with the SRS?
we have it under Forest Reserve Act, it's
Yeah.
actually. Rural schools, so.
Yes, the Secure Rural Schools Act Forest Service Fund.
Who's taking it?
The federal government has not signed off on some budgeting things, and
Okay.
it doesn't look like they're.
So
going
the
to.
federal government decides whether we get it or not, so we never really know just how much we're gonna get. So you've gotta really be leery of anticipating too much, because one year we anticipated 400,000 and we only got 60. This kind of thing,
Right.
and that's
Didn't we
the-
get that in the spring?
Yeah, we get, that's the one that we get in
We're
the
talking about
spring,
next spring?
correct. But like what Blanche was saying is you never know how much it's going to be. And it's looking like there's not going to be anything because they haven't, it's been attached to some of the bills that they aren't signing and they're just, and he doesn't see it getting
Okay,
signed
so
this
what's
year.
your question? What we've been listening. So what you're saying is, what you're saying is not to anticipate. So what do you have for?
So I'm not-
For revenue. What's it?
Right, so I'm not anticipating anything, so what do I have down here? We've got 167 or 168,000 in cash.
SRS,
No, that's the cash that's in,
where's the SRS?
there isn't,
Okay, so here's the line item,
yeah,
and you see. That's what 325,000 is anticipated. And that would be under your anticipated revenue, which she doesn't have it split out. You'd look at this right here to see.
right, so.
So then here's your taxes right here. And then this is the forest reserve, this is the SRS, and it should, I mean, the
Right.
description is.
And it shows what we got the last few years, like 290, and then like, because of the way that it was going, I had anticipated 325 last year and we only got the 262.
I think we still have to
Even though-
anticipate in the hopes that we do get some, but we can't do it high.
No, and honestly, I'd had like 250 in there is all I did for this year, and then when he told me that.
Is
when
he
told us
suggesting not to anticipate any?
Mhm.
Okay,
They're not hopeful that there's gonna be anything, that he doesn't think they're even gonna sign the bill.
so
We're
that's
screwed.
$325,000 that we can't anticipate.
And that's off the forestry with ground. So then why don't we just take the ground back ourselves and do whatever.
Okay, so no, this really has nothing to do with, this isn't PILT.
No.
This isn't payment in lieu of taxes.
Yeah, this guy
That's just. So you
So-
didn't anticipate any in this?
didn't anticipate it, that's where we come up with, that's where this comes from. So I had, you know, this is everything that we're anticipating to come in, the actuals. And it's only gonna be that, this is how much which is gonna be 10,000 more because we don't have the 100,000, we gotta put 10,000 more in that. So we're looking at needing to find six, 600. Oh. We don't have anything added, this 100,000 here is not added into that. So I just need, and we're changing that
So what
to
is it?
10,000, so this is gonna be
10,000 more.
10,000.
So maybe just keep it at 0 and not anticipate any. To keep that figure the same.
That's fine, I just didn't wanna make sure.
So it's just what you're gonna be looking for is just over $600,000 to bring the road to what we have.
Do what?
And what you're gonna need to find is $600,000, just over $600,000, just to bring in, just to cover the expenses.
The anticipated income.
Yeah.
We need
And just like-
$601,000.
right.
Where are we gonna find that?
And we're not gonna have.
Where you found it the last 2
325.
years.
We're not gonna have.
Yeah, we got
325
SRS then
from that
last 2
SRS.
years.
But you also you brought in over 200,000 from Pilt last year, and then 2 years ago. You took over 500,000 from Pilt just to make road, bring it up to
Right.
road, is where the
Where
deficits came from, and we haven't had a reserve in road in.
Pilt's not guaranteed either.
But
Pilt is not guaranteed. The Pilt might,
we already got PILT for this year.
I mean, what I'm talking about next.
Well, that's why we need to buy all this equipment.
Yeah.
Excuse me?
Are we gonna get along on this budget or what the hell? Let's stay focused there.
So anyway, I just wanted to bring that to your attention, that you're gonna have to find $600,000 in order to bring it up for road, so.
Okay, so what you're
That's what-
saying is we have to find 601,000 balanced budget. for road.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
And how much we have? 151. So They don't need a total of 6.
So she, what's this? You don't have this totaled yet. So she does right here. So what's your anticipated? Is this anticipated right here
Yeah,
for road?
We gotta come up with 586, because we got 151 in there.
150 where?
Yeah.
this is what
That's the whole budget.
that's the budget,
That's what,
is the 1.5 million is the budget. And then we've got this much cash, maybe 7,000 in, which we'd have to look at what are those. Just services and things that, whatever those things are, unexpected revenues. So just 7,000 is what I did for that one. Bringing in money from, the benefits and the wage thing, the LATCF monies, plus the health, that is 120,000 that's. Then the entitlement. I put it 110,000, however, if we look at this and the way that it kind of goes up.
so we'll have 505, but we need 600, we need 100,000.
No, we need 600.
600,000.
Okay, so
So
what
the
you saying
taxes-
here? This is the budget. And then
What's all coming?
167,
Is in cash.
it's at 167,925 in cash. Where'd that 7,000 come in?
That's the anticipated, these two little things, whatever.
So you only have 7,000 anticipated.
For this, for charges for services. Cause just don't know, I mean, I can bump that up, it looks like. We've only ever anticipated about 4,000, we did get 6,000 last year. And then this one's the miscellaneous
What's the
revenue.
120,079?
That is the LATCF money for the benefits and COLA, plus the.
Okay.
Going in for the health.
Why doesn't have questions? Yes, I'm not really.
The 110, the 110 with the question mark, because that's the entitlement and I don't know what the number is for that
Well,
yet.
110 is, but you added that into this, right? So it's there. So. And the taxes are
505.
505. So. Yeah, it's balance, and that's no reserve.
So, which is,
So what do you have? For capital outlay? 45,395. So you have two capital outlays, one is 50,
so one is the balance of the LATCF monies that we put in there.
okay,
And then the other one's just the regular capital outlay, which I think I have, do I have 50,000 in there? Cause I think he wanted to get a truck or something.
yeah, so what is it that you have to put down on the new grader? Or is it just the trade-in?
Trade-in, it won't show up till next year anyway, but no,
Okay.
it was just a trade-in, so not, this is all from before.
So the
Right.
trade-in is gonna take care of that, and then it won't be a payment this year, but there'll be a payment next year
Yeah.
added to the
next
payments. There's 35,000 will be added into but then
Okay, but we'll get all that paperwork for next year.
Yeah,
So we'll
yeah,
worry about that.
Yeah,
yeah.
So,
Did he tell you, did you? So 50,000 is left. Was there anything else that we had to get that we were getting?
we can't. I'm just-
He
The what?
just at the bottom, he
We
had,
can't get nothing else, we gotta try to make this work. We're not getting-
So he's not getting his new truck?
Well, we'll have to get a pickup, or we're gonna be paying him mileage, use his own, and I'm not doing that.
Paying him to use his own is really super expensive.
That's not gonna happen, you're better off than going home by
Yeah.
pickup. Cause then you have to have him sit there, I'm not doing that, or I mean, that's me, whatever.
Okay, so the big things, okay, we're getting the grader,
But I don't need to worry about that.
and
for
you
the
don't need to
budget.
worry about the grader. I mean,
We're not getting that.
I was gonna say that, but
Okay,
let me finish
okay.
my sentence.
Sorry, I'm just frustrated here.
So his truck is good traded on a new one, and so he's looking at like 53. So what's the other 45, or is this just ending? There isn't anything else we're getting big, right? Because we have 50,000 left, right?
Right, so this balance is just what's
What's
left
balanced?
over
This
from the
is-
LATCF. This, I put 50,000 here because of this.
Okay,
So
okay,
that
so
need to be-
you threw 50K in there.
Yeah, do I need to change that? Yeah, this is just on the regular capital outlay. This is the LATCF capital outlay. You gave them $600,000.
Yeah, well, we can use that, we can use that on the truck. And nothing else.
So do you want me to drop this down and we'll put
Let's-
10,000 on that and then we'll take
Yeah, we're not.
whatever's left there plus what's there for the truck.
Let's do. Total, let's see, there's 45,395 left. And then. The balance of what the truck's gonna cost.
Okay,
So
I'll just
do
put,
a total 60 of that should cover it, shouldn't it? And that's saving-
We said it was around 50, so if we had stayed in a 10 or something, 15, maybe you never known. That
So-
dropped us down to 30.
Okay, so
so do you want me to just budget 15 in the
so,
regular
okay.
capital outlay?
We're supposed to know by next week, I'm not trying to.
No,
Okay.
we said to get it,
Yeah,
he needs
but I
it,
mean, the
it's- yeah,
total price was supposed to know by next week. So-
otherwise there's another 10,000 that they're gonna be putting into. The one that he has. What I'm saying is, she's got 95,395 in capital outlay.
Oh,
45 of that is still monies
Still there.
that we put in there that we said can roll over.
Yeah,
Oh.
the LATCF, that's the one that rolls
Oh,
over.
Instead of that,
Not-
just make the total 60, so that's giving you,
40 still in the LA.
yeah, 35,395, right? That we can put somewhere else or
So-
take off. Or put
Okay,
in
so
reserve.
what I'm hearing, what I thought I heard was that you wanna take everything from the LATCF, put that towards the truck. And then whatever the balance is gonna come out of capital outlay. So we probably wanna put like 15,000 just in capital outlay instead of the 50,000.
Why can't we just
Is
make
that-
one line item capital outlay?
Well, we can, but I mean, that way we know that we've used up all of the
Yeah, all the
LATCF
monies,
funds
yeah.
and then the
Just
balance will.
Make the total of the 2 line items
Mhm.
60, that
Yes.
should cover it.
Right, that's, okay,
Yeah.
that's what I was hearing, that's what I will do. It is gonna be
Does
on
that
two,
work?
it is gonna be on 2 line items, I'm just gonna put the balance on, take the
And the
50
2
out.
line items,
Total-
total
total
60, which is giving you 35,000 off that budget, which is giving the 610 down.
All right,
Yes, sir.
So talked to Dave Kaufman, he's willing to do the pre-bid conference and the final inspection part of the 16,000. If you need to do additional like inspections, it'd be a cost, so get this off the agenda next week, I'm just wondering if. He's wanting to like start this week, you have like preliminary approval that you can like come over here, or you guys, and then you have this contract on them.
Yeah.
Okay. Here it is,
I don't
next
think we're
week,
done.
yeah.
Just that, bring it back.
I just sent you an email.
All right.
oh, do you want, okay,
So
Got rid of it.
we have to figure where we're going to. Okay,
I'll-
so this one. Got that, pencil. Alright. Pencil. Okay, so this, we'll just do this, 60. Okay,
Mhm.
what else in here to bring that down? You know, it says not to anticipate. But that's saying we're,
They said that damn near every year, and I'm not saying that it couldn't happen, but like you said, that one year we was here and it dropped it to 60. I think we'll get something, we just don't know what, so we should gamble on 15.
Yeah, and this is the thing, to not try to anticipate it and then we get it. Then we're,
When would we know?
Not until the fall, late fall,
Yeah, they work on that way into
yeah.
I mean, they do this and then the very last minute things happen and then, so. Eric is crying doom and he's pretty for certain it's not gonna happen, but I. Where else are we gonna get it? If we don't get it, then we're gonna. We can't just pull 601,000 out of pill and throw it in the road. Cause we don't have it for sure.
how much is it, Bill?
1, 2. Maybe.
And they got their money, right?
1.4.
1.4.
So it was just about 900, underneath 800.
Yeah, so 1,404,900. And 67 cents. I know that they're saying not to, but I think we have to anticipate. And watch it accordingly if we don't get it.
This sucks that they can sit on it for that long, we're trying to do a budget. Just, I guess that's, we know that every year how.
What do you think?
I think we can anticipate. But if we have to, we're covered. It would go, I mean, we don't want to, but we could. I think we gotta go on that assumption and then try to do some cutting.
So we did cut 35,000. What else can we cut back on this? So. This is through April, right? The expenditures. Here. We can't do anything about salaries. There you go.
That's through June.
This is. We can't do anything about salaries.
No, place we start right down, where they went 10,000 up on supplies. Why do you?
So he spent 21 and we had 30,000 budgeted.
No, right here. Spent 53 and we had 60 and then up to 70.
But
He upped it to 70.
yeah, but is that, did I write in the correct number? I mean, if you look on here, what's the,
Why this woman, who wrote this?
Okay, this is road.
that would be Paul wanting 70.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he wanted.
and the
70.
thing is, that's only through April,
That's
so
correct.
we have to look
So
on
what
this
what
one.
is this one?
53,
250. No, I'm looking at the object.
200 supply.
So we went in the whole 5,445.
They went over 60 and that's why I need to sell it.
Yeah. We went over budget. You went over budget on, what do you take out of roads and streets? Is that?
That's all like the dust guard and gravel that doesn't come out of the gravel tax and,
So,
you know. just all that kind of
13,000
stuff.
over on that one. So we bumped that to 120. I think he's gonna have to watch his budget a little closer and keep it back at 100,000. We don't have it.
What's the travel? How come that went up so much?
That's the gas prices,
Yes.
fuel.
Well, and then mileage too, when. Mileage comes out of travel, right?
Mileage for,
No, that on mileage, you don't get paid anymore.
that comes out of,
Well, when he uses his own truck, he gets mileage. Yeah, yeah.
but, and I think that if we do that, it just goes on to his, I think it's on
Right,
his
there ain't no
payroll.
way, cause I spend $130 for that, is $140 for travel, $370.
Okay, so he had 26,000 left in travel.
What's all in travel?
That's the fuel. Pretty much, I don't know what else.
So
Of
he,
course, it went from $3 up to $6, so that's why it's, you know.
It's just tough to do, you know, you have a war in the Middle East and
okay, so he had $130,000 budget, and he still had 26,657 in there. So and he wanted what, 130 again, or he bump it up further?
He dropped
Oh, he
it.
went down to 120. And the other purchase, she had 100,000, and there's nothing in there now, right?
Right, we were gonna put 10.
Okay, and. So the one capital outlay, it's in the negative. 13,990, what was that for? Cause there was nothing budgeted in that line item.
Way up with minus 14,000.
If that is, something that should have been out
Yeah, let me,
making the 45 less. Huh? I know. He goes cuckoo, right?
My number has
Like this she keeps,
just my scroll text.
Yeah.
I can go sit down and be fine, but
so 13,990 was taken out of capital outlay that wasn't budgeted. And if it was something for that LAT, what was that?
But the thing about taking 13,000 out, if we're minus 13, it has to be on here to show them. I mean, if it's
So-
minus 13, right? I mean, you can't just show it here.
Yeah. So that would make
How
the,
else do we do a budget if we want 13,000 below what we're supposed to?
you're,
We don't
yeah,
know what
so
it's for.
14,000 actually.
13,996, yeah.
Yeah.
I guess that's.
that was the 2 power washers.
So what's our payments this year? For the,
Intercap loan? 199 and 31. Is that it?
That thing, the principal, after we got.
The 610 and 620.
232,000 coming out just for
Yeah, 200.
the,
Paying off.
Equipment.
two more payments.
Hmm.
Is there two more payments?
2 more years?
2 more years.
2 more
2 or 3.
Yeah, I think
It's
it might
5
be
years, it's 3 years.
There's
Yeah.
3 years of 230,000. Well, maybe a little less, maybe a little more. It's variable, right?
Mhm.
Variable. We're getting a lot accomplished here.
We are.
Being
Not even off the first one
facetious,
yet.
I'm being sarcastic.
I know. I don't mean to be grumpy. I'm just looking.
No,
Tell me.
okay. Okay, so now we know 600,000, we definitely,
Where did that?
I don't
money
think
come
there's
from?
anywhere we can cut
For
it.
the
is there?
Rumsey.
We're cutting
So
35.
AT&T didn't remove all their equipment. And so
Okay,
the
so
board
the
voted to
13,000
charge them rent
the
until they remove it off
13,000.
the mountain.
Are we still?
Yeah, so we,
Do not tell them
this
it's more
cancels
easy.
that.
You should
So,
tell them I think they should
truly,
change it.
because,
No, I see what you're saying.
yeah.
And if not, remove it and charge me.
because
We
we didn't have budget power for that.
We. it's not
And
enough. Whenever you move it,
why
they
didn't it
rent
have to
you
come out of
into
Outlook?
city. Yeah.
That's.
Because it's equipment.
I thought.
But it came out of
Came from the
Outlook.
wrong spot or something.
No, yeah, no, they've been paying it. It
I
should
mean,
be wrapped
that's
up
neither
before
here nor there,
snowfall.
is the fact that,
Still come up.
so. What did you do for? Roads and streets? Repairs and maintenance. There was a lot of repairs and maintenance. So he budgeted 100,000.
150,000, they only spent 79 of it, and there's. Right?
Through April.
150 and then through April 79, so what is?
But Blanche has the actual numbers.
Yeah, so repairs and maintenance. Is. Yeah, 150 and. There's 40, so he spent 100,000, not quite, so he had 44,002, so he spent 110,000.
And then
And how much is in there right now, budgeted?
125, no, budgeted 150 again.
I think
We could take some off of
Yeah.
there.
need to trim that. Down to 100,000 if it can't be repaired. I mean, just because we spent that much doesn't mean we increase it because there's no money there.
So which one, the 360
Okay.
you want changed to 100?
Okay, on the repairs and maintenance. What did he put?
150,
150.
and he
So-
spent 79 up through April.
We had 44,284,
70 left.
so let's do 200,000. Do you think?
200 for what?
Huh?
100.
Just 100,000 on the,
100,000.
Yeah,
Yeah.
100,000 instead of 150.
Yeah.
Cause yeah,
Delivery.
okay, so that's saving 50. And then what else were we taking? So then there's 30. The difference between the 50 and the 45. And that 13 wasn't an LATCF thing.
no, those
But-
power washers, I mean,
Is that considered outlay?
yeah, I mean, I knew because of that, I mean, Tana would have moved that out of
Moved it
there.
right into.
Right, out of
Okay,
the, if, you know, if we
Okay.
had put it somewhere else,
Yeah.
so,
okay,
so we thought we would just,
yeah,
Go ahead.
no, that makes sense, that makes sense. So, that's 14,000 that we spent that we didn't really have budget power for. But why did were we thinking about taking it out of that LTAC?
Most likely.
Or did we just? Did just get them?
When did you purchase
Is-
them? When were they purchased? I can look in your minutes.
Couple months ago.
Oh,
I can tell you, I still have it.
I don't remember.
Would you be coming here and look on if you?
Oh,
Okay.
I've got it up.
Okay, so there's. This is down. We shaved. Fashion one. That I can. Okay. So. We're doing 60.
Oh, okay. Oh, no. In March.
In March.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And, I think Vic fell.
Yeah, she got a hold of me.
So should we do? Should we just do 50,000 because there'll be a trade-in? On the
Yeah.
truck?
Yeah, we should get some, if he said it was 53 or whatever. I'm hoping we can get 15 out of it. I mean, that's ourselves.
You're not gonna get,
Well, that new stuff.
think so?
It's amazing what some people, I mean, you just depends on how he goes about it and see what they do and how they treat us. They want our business. They'll be picky and work them.
Okay, 50.
Has there been whiskey in here?
Not today.
I think you better get a job.
So. We do the 43,395 and then it would be 4605 instead of the 50,000. We just do 50,000 on that. Hopefully there'll be. Do you think, or should we add? An extra 5,
Just for the truck.
just to the 50? And we told him he couldn't have any. Good
Bells
stuff
and
in there.
whistles.
They have to be stripped down.
I don't think they make
55,
like
just,
that anymore.
you know, I'd say go 55, Lance. I just got a feeling that, I mean, they're just throwing a quote at him when he's standing there. It's not,
Okay.
nothing in writing or
So instead of
That's
that
why I said
60, make the
make-
total 55.
that. Maybe get on us.
Yeah.
You gotta get a solid number so we know. They gave me permission to look. Now I just, that way, trying to do this stuff.
He's pretty good at getting people down.
So that's saving 4,600 for that. Then we're taking 50 off. And just doing 100,000. How about we've got everything new, why do we need 100,000 for repair and maintenance and then spending 100,000? 113,000.
Good point.
Well, you put a lot of money in that one.
Oh, shit, we put a lot of money in a bunch of shit. that we
Bunch
should've
of shit,
just
yeah.
parked.
Yeah. A lot of money in the water truck,
They just
just
got,
for,
they just
repairs.
figured it out. They went and borrowed a computer off a rancher, local rancher's truck and put it in there and that's what it is. I said, holy cow, what happens if we would have burned up his computer? I mean, but now they ordered a computer and that's $2,000 come from North Carolina. This truck's been sitting drunk for 4 months. Just what do you do?
I don't have a record of the power washer in the minutes from this year.
We told them to get a power washer because
Okay.
it's yeah, just
I
because
don't
they're
know
cleaning
which
out the
one
back.
it is.
You have to get that salt and that crap out of them trucks and they're heating, remember?
Yeah.
But I remember telling them,
well, yeah, because they wore out the,
one was it was leaking.
Yeah.
Well, David did more as it spraying on them than it was in the truck. I watched them. Yeah. And they even bought a new hose and it's still spraying, whatever.
okay, so. The travel. What did he put for travel? 120.
Last year he had it at 130, so he dropped to 10 and he spent 103 of it. So there was 27 left of 26.
103,342.
And so he spent, there should have been 26.
So I think-
left there.
100,000, that down to 100. That's another 20,000. And that's 55.
There's
And what is it? The 100 and, which one was the 150?
The repairs and maintenance.
down to 100.
Was 50, 75, and 20, 75, there's 95, cut down.
Roads and streets. So roads and streets,
And then you wanted to anticipate what for the.
so roads and streets, he went over, they was 100,000. And he spent 113,000.
So we went to 125.
So he went to 125.
So.
Well, he needs to maybe quit doing so much traveling and maybe go to town once a week instead of every day. Let's,
No, I understand what you're saying, just, no, I totally. So if a guy, then that dropped it down, it'd be down to about 85,000 that we cut.
And then Blanche, did you want me to anticipate some money for the forest money? Like
you know, I think
50,000
we were
or 100,000,
talking,
because that will offset it too.
yeah, and
We're
I think,
thinking-
And like what Chuck was saying is that at the end, we can
Yeah,
always
yeah.
grab it if you need
yeah,
to, but
and
did
that's
you?
it. We anticipate if we don't get it, then we have to really crunch and say,
Right.
okay, you, well, they
Pull
got.
it from somewhere else, like
Yeah,
you
just-
were saying, so,
Go
Just
ahead.
cover it with pill. This is what I would do. Cover it with pill. About 500,000, right? We're down about 500,000 now.
Yeah, we're down. Yeah, we're down, just say 85, so we're 85 up to 600.
And then don't anticipate the SRS and pill. But then when you get it, then you'll be way ahead. You see what I'm saying? You can still pay for everything with pill, right?
And then
You
when
don't want to, but we could.
Then when we got the SRS, just put it right back in the pills. Just kind of like running a bank, borrowing from Peter to pay Paul.
Well, it's easier said than done when you have to do it by adjusting entries.
I know. what you're
So-
saying, but
You just are going to have to, if we're not gonna anticipate SRS, we have to anticipate from PIL. If you feel,
No.
if he's pretty for certain. And then if we do get it, then we won't take it, all of it from PILT. And we'll redo the budget for unanticipated income.
mhm. Yeah, so he was saying, so Blanche, what he was saying is, he goes, I know we say this every year, I know we do,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
he was like,
This is.
Who was saying this?
Eric Bryson,
Eric?
yeah,
He knows the politics going on.
yeah.
Yeah,
no, he's involved here.
so, okay, well, we're trying to get as less as we can
Right,
from PILT.
so,
we're
well,
cutting
so
it.
then,
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah.
You gotta do that,
Okay, so this.
but we're still covered. We can still be covered for the next year. And then if anything does come in,
Put it right back in.
put it right back in, and then
or
good.
I think what you were thinking of was anticipating it, and then if we don't get it, then you can do it, and it's, I think it'd probably be, than trying to put the pill back into it, it would probably be easier to do the amended budget for the anticipated, is that what you were?
There's an easier way to do it.
Right,
Okay.
one's easier than the other, and Blanche would know which was easier.
Okay, so if,
I know how you're doing it, and the easier way that makes it look better on paper is to put it as anticipated and then go back in as a.
Right. Yeah, and then later at the year, if we don't get it, go, ooh,
so here's.
So
so we
what
need to do an amended budget.
That's it.
Okay, here's what we can do. We can anticipate it from PILT, but we don't necessarily have to put it all in there. We anticipate that much. If we don't need it, we don't have to put it in there. If we get from SRS, if we get it, then that's when you do the amended
Okay,
budget for unanticipated.
That way it looks better when they do it.
so would you like to anticipate the 500, but I'll only at the beginning of the year, I only transfer 250, or just wait until the end of the
So-
year to transfer?
When do you do your transfers, at the beginning or at the end?
Most of them I do it at the beginning, like this sort
Yeah.
of thing, because it's just the operating stuff, so would you
Yeah.
like me to only do half of it?
Yeah, I think do two transfers maybe.
Okay,
And then if we do get the SRS money, we can reduce.
Because, yeah, when I look at my transfers, I'll get, oh, I didn't take quite as much out
Yeah.
from that I thought
And the
that I was
reason
going to.
why.
And then I would see that at the end of the year and be able to transfer it if I needed to.
So what are we saving so far? There's 50
About
out there.
85,
How much?
about 85. Just off the
100.
top, yeah. Just like
I think we have
half,
to,
was at 95 and then we took another off the 10 off and put it there, and so it was like 85.
so this one too, the roads and streets. He bumped it up. I think we need to put it back down.
Roads and streets, he spent 60 on 100. And
So
so,
roads and-
but then he jumped it up another 25.
So because we budgeted. Okay, roads and streets, these lines are two, we budgeted 100 and he spent 113. So then he bumped it up to 120, right? No, that's travel.
Right here. See, he spent 60 of it. And then he budgeted for.
No, he
100.
actually spent 113.
Oh, how come it don't show?
Roads
That's
and
through April.
streets. Yeah. So.
Blanche has the actuals.
Right here it says he budgeted
For 100.
100, and so this is 23, 24, and he only spent 60, but he didn't, he spent 113. So he went over budget, that's why he increased it up to 125, but I think we're gonna have to keep it at 100, because he's gonna have to. There's another 25 coming off there.
Put it back up to 100. 105.
So I can make all of those
Yeah.
changes for you and you can take a look at it. I do want to, I've got a Zoom meeting in like 5 minutes.
Okay.
Election stuff. So, but like next week, I'd like to talk about or I can leave this stuff here. The Phillipsburg ambulance, which I think that Sarah may have talked to a little bit. No, okay, never mind. So we'll talk about that.
Okay.
And then Drummond ambulance, I wanted to talk about that. And then I always need to know what you're doing with Flint Creek project. So those are really the major ones.
What's up with the drum? I know they were gonna add for more.
Yes, that they're asking for, they're doing good and they've been bringing money in.
I'm not
and
saying
stuff.
that.
Right. No, that's, I'm just going through the whole thing, but they are requesting an additional 15,000 from the LATCF monies for, I can't remember what it is.
Cause we
Yeah,
gave,
Drummond is.
cause we gave to Phillipsburg.
Right,
for the
yeah,
video,
yeah,
and I don't
yeah.
blame them.
So anyway, so they're requesting that, and that's really the major thing, and otherwise, they're pretty right on. I think they have to lower their supplies a
Okay.
little bit, but
Now, on our elevator stuff and that, do we have that all
Oh.
in there?
no,
Yeah, we need to get that before we can give money out.
Before we take, yeah.
Yeah.
And the pill.
right, so we need to go over
LATCF
those ones
Okay.
too.
Looking at budget wise, is road the only one that is not, and can't balance it because of the fact there's not enough money and you need the 601,000?
Yeah.
So this was. the
And
main one that-
the Phillipsburg ambulance, that's one thing, because,
Okay,
but
yeah,
we can
I'm
talk
not
about,
so
but
worried
this
about
one for, right, it's that one, that was the
Okay.
major.
so yeah, this one, we cut where I think we cut.
I think we're back
Yeah.
up to 105. I think
Okay.
that's what we figured.
So when I can rework all of those numbers and show you what that's, and
Yeah.
we'll see where we are at the.
Okay, so I think we did. I know you have your meeting,
Yeah.
except for supplies. I think you back at 60. I'm sorry, you're gonna have to be careful.
So that put another 10,
Yeah.
so that's.
Yeah,
5, so that gets like 115.
you gotta spend a little wiser. You gotta tell him he's gotta make trips a little more cautiously instead of running here and there and there and there, because we can't afford it.
No, I agree. I mean,
yeah.
that ain't no choice.
And I think that Becky does give him, a monthly like we do for several others. So that he can see, like the sheriff's office gets a monthly thing of exactly what they spent and where they're at. So, and I'm pretty sure, and maybe he doesn't,
maybe
and
we
we
should
will
see
start. Oh,
Maybe
okay,
We should see it, what he's spending.
Yeah,
That way we have, that,
Okay.
and then we know,
yeah.
instead of waiting until this.
because you guys are
how
his
much
boss, so.
Rob.
We need to tell him we cut to cut the budget.
115.
And we can tell him next week if by then, and he's gonna have to, instead of going to Missoula every other day, he's gonna have to make a list and go at the end of the week.
Yeah.
We have to,
Unless it's an emergency. they
Unless
have
it's an
to, but other
emergency,
than that,
yeah,
we gotta-
yeah.
We gotta
Yeah.
figure some cuts here, that's. no,
So, and then
I'm
I'll
with you.
mention that to Becky, that we'll get you guys the,
yeah,
But yeah, monthly,
The
we
monthly.
should know what
so
actually.
that you can
sitting.
see for the.
well, we see the
stuff.
claims, but
No,
that's
no,
not the
get
same
the-
thing as
We're
looking
looking at the actual
What
budget.
they Actually spending on fuel, that's what.
Right. So then you would see the budget, you know, for that month, what was spent there, what's left over, like we do for
And
the
that's
other
probably just
places.
the only one we
So-
really need to see like for
Yeah.
now, cause it's, I mean, this is the one that's hurt.
Okay, let's look and see what, when you, after your meeting and see, I think we made some good cuts on this.
Mhm.
And,
Yeah.
115.
we have to try to get some reserve if we possibly can. We have to have some reserve, we can't have
So we'll
none.
pull it, yeah, we have not had a reserve in road for 3 years. So
And have a gun in the hole,
the,
cash wise.
no, I think that we've been okay because we've been pulling it.
Well,
Yeah.
the thing about we're not doing no more of that contract and we just went out of
Yeah.
hand on, you know, I was one of the commissioners.
Like right now,
It was a good
it's
deal.
100 and, oh, it was at 160,000
But I'm just saying it
at
was
the
a
end
good
of
deal to
this
do
year,
stuff,
so.
but we should have looked into the budget before we just said go, go, go. I mean, it was great to fix the
Well, it was-
road, but
it
now
was
it's biting us in the
A
ass.
little go, go, go without permission,
Now it's biting us in the butt. We're gonna have to pay for it until we can get caught up.
yeah. So, yeah, we will, oh. Sorry, I was saying, okay,
All right, so I'll fix that one up and then
and
all
then
the
any
other
other
ones.
one that, yeah.
Yeah, and you
So-
wanna take the tilts and yeah, we'll have all of those ones.
We need to probably do this again next week.
Yeah, I will add it right now.
We have the
Okay.
dates for when it goes in and,
Yeah, we
Okay.
put, so I just did it because we kind of went over that
Yeah,
before I
yeah.
left. That's what
Yeah.
that's what's going in the paper.
Yeah.
So, okay.
okay, all right, sorry.
I gotta go. Okay, you guys have a good week.
Okay, budget workshop, got one fund worked on.
One of the major ones that we really need to work on.
We'll work on. The one thing that I think when she's all said and done, she will post these. Budgets to the website, and then if anybody has any questions during our hearing, then they can ask the questions. Then, so, yeah, with the road, absolutely. Taken. Okay, so, any public comment on working on? We actually just worked on the road fund in a whole hour.
It's a big.
Yeah.
Elena has a
Elena.
comment.
Thank you. So point of clarification, this will be on the agenda for next week. And another work session for each one of the department and department heads would be there so you can discuss it. That was my question, one of the questions. And then the, what happened this morning regarding BISPRA. That's gonna be checked with Sarah for the confusion on whether or not they got their checks or not.
Well,
The
Big
check is.
Sky passenger rail. Everything that happened this morning, where you said you were gonna put it back on the agenda and you tabled the warrant. Whatever you call it, claim warrant.
We disallowed that claim right now, we put it on hold. And that topic is gonna be on the agenda next week, whether or not Granite County wants to stay within that group or get out of it.
Okay, because I was under the understanding that it was already approved, this one warrant, a couple of weeks ago. And the check went out or was gonna go out. That's what I was under the impression of. And so that's what, I'll check it with Sarah. Don't
Okay.
forget, I am the director for this for Big Sky, so I'm talking not as a just a plain resident, I'm talking as the director, so I'll check it with Sarah. I guess she's at a meeting. I'll check later. Thank you.
Okay, and on the second part of your question, as far as having department heads come in. We will be looking at budgets and their request is right there on the budget. If we feel we have to ask them questions, we will. If we don't, we'll just be approving that budget. It's not necessary for each department head to come in and explain exactly what they want to spend on. We've had that happen through the last month or so, people requesting things like with the treasurer on getting her tax bills printed, so it's not necessary to have all of department heads come in and discuss their budgets unless we have questions.
Well, it's just, to what happened for this whole hour, road and bridge, and it sounded like he had questions. Did he, should he, will he? And it would have been easier had he been there, because then you could have asked the questions directly to him.
No,
And, said
it's
what
not
you had to
question
say.
of the budget.
That's the way, that's the way I've seen other counties.
way
do
you
it. So,
think.
I'm sorry, thank you.
Okay. With that, we adjourn until next Tuesday.